Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy Drizzt. Yo, let me know if anything starts lagging in the stream. I'm trying out this new overlay, basically, and I want to know if I can handle it. I don't know. It's nothing like too complicated, but I don't know. I thought it would be better to look at than just the entire thing being just me, because like at least this way it's harder to notice the static. It's less apparent. Hey Epsy, Otaku Pause, how are you? Nicholas Alexander. Oh, just letting you know, I got my customary Dr. Pepper, so it is indeed a Drizzt stream. Yo, hey, what's up, Kuma Pause? Thanks for your comment on the last video. I appreciate it. No lag, excellent. Joseph Singleton. Yosef. Nothing much. I just did a little workout. Nothing too complicated. Just, I haven't worked out in so long, so I did a little workout to, I'm gonna try and get into the rhythm of working out every day. But, you know, that always goes well for a little bit of period of time and then I stop. But we're gonna try and get it going. Good to see you streaming. Yeah, well, I thought about it, and Sundays are actually days that I prefer to stream. Because, as you guys know, I spend most of the weekend just hanging out with my IRL friends on Discord because I don't really get to talk to them during the weekday because of work. Because I work during the night and they work during the morning. And, you know, Sundays they go to sleep early to get ready for work, so it's like the perfect time for me to stream. Or work on a video, or like get a script started. Yo ho ho. What's up? What's going on? Drizzt is the first asexuality One Piece YouTuber. Asexual? Yeah, I could dig that. I'll take that. Nice title. Well, thank you. You guys know how I am with Jordan Peterson. The man is just... he's a great, great man. Glad I got JB hooked onto him. And Foob watches him too, so... just a really interesting guy to listen to. Nothing much. That's kind of like the perfect day, in my opinion. Like, I don't know. One of the perfect days for me is just sitting at home, relaxing, not doing a whole lot. Hey, Drizzt, my favorite YouTuber. I'm your favorite. Hey, let's go. I used to be a lot more people's favorite. I gotta start. I mean, I say this, but like, my work ethic is like absolute shit. But I gotta start getting the videos out more. But the video I'm working on right now is literally gonna take forever because it's at least... I have approximated it to be around 45 minutes long, and that's with a script. It should be about roughly 7,500 words. And that's gonna take a while, because I'm gonna try to be very thorough, and the editing is going to be top notch, because I plan it to be one of my better videos so far. So it's going to take a while. Anyone seen One Piece 9/11? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Jordan Peters is amazing. I'm glad to see more Lobster fans in the chat. The review was fire. I'm underrated. I don't know. I wouldn't say I'm underrated. I don't know. I'm confident in my abilities, but I don't think I'm underrated, to be honest. Joy Boy's evolving? What do you mean, Yorick? Yo, what's up, Lucy? How are you? Glad to see you could drop by the stream. Mother of God, 7,500 words. Yeah, it is quite the task. I mean, if you want, I can tell you what the topic is, and then you'll understand why it's so long. But it's a retrospective, so it's really, really, really in depth. And like the editing, I don't want it to be just like, oh, here's a picture every 25 to like 45 seconds. Boom, that's editing. No, I want it to be good. I want it to be like nice and concise. My review I put out now was like, it was like all right editing. It wasn't amazing, but I want to kind of do something like that. There's going to be a new intro for this video. Like, it's going to be a special intro just for the topic of this video. Kind of similar to my Celestial Dragon ally theory. For those who have watched that, how I made like a Marvel spin-off intro for that. That's what it's going to be like for this video. David says, how do you expect the 2 Emperor thing to unfold in Wano, and do you see a bunch of side switching to happen on the Emperor Nova side? Oh, so basically, this is essentially a question of how do I think Big Mom is going to be involved in the plot. It seems apparent that at some point in time, Big Mom will or has the intention of being there, but my speculation or my guess is that she won't be involved until the very, very end of the arc. Something that people don't take into consideration is the time needed to travel from one place to another. For Big Mom to be fully involved in the midst of the arc, she needs to get there in real time at a reasonable rate. So it took the Straw Hats at least 3 days to get there. Most arcs are resolved way before 3 days. Like Whole Cake Island was one of the longest arcs. And even if we have an arc similar to Whole Cake Island, Big Mom would still get there at the end, which would be roughly around or post defeat Kaido if he is supposed to be defeated. So I see Big Mom kind of showing up at the end, but I also expect other Yonko to show up at the end. There's a common theory of Blackbeard showing up because that's the only reason Kaido would die instead of being defeated, because Luffy will probably... It will be very rare for Luffy to actually kill his opponents. The only person people think Luffy will actually kill, and even then people don't think it will be intentional, is Blackbeard, because that will be his last fight against the pirate. And as far as supernova switching, until I see more evidence, it seems like most of the supernova are going to switch. Like I said in my review, I think it would be a really good twist on Oda's part, and I hope he does this, where I feel like he should have one of the supernova. It doesn't really matter who it is, but he should have one of them stay on the evil side so we can finally have a supernova clash. And it would be better because it would seem a bit overkill to have 4 supernova under Kaido and all 4 of them betrayed him, and that's the reason why he was defeated. That's kind of just like a huge nerf in my eyes. Like, Kaido would be so incompetent and so cocky to the point where it's like, oh, I lost because I thought I was better than I actually am, instead of being defeated at your real strength. So I prefer it if at least one of them stayed on Kaido's side. Or maybe they have their own they have their own plan, and that involves them kind of messing around with the power balance of Wano. Considered publishing a book. Once upon a time, guys, whenever I was in high school, I used to take college course writing classes. I wanted to be a writer. I read a crap ton of books. I was really interested, but constantly writing papers throughout high school and then into college about things I didn't want to write about kind of killed the passion for writing that I had, because all I was doing is basically just writing like summaries and like analytical symbolic papers about really, really bad stories, because I wanted to be a fantasy author, because I wanted to roam around in my mind and let my imagination go to work. But all I was doing was basically like compare and contrast, and those are just like redundantly bad papers for the most part. That killed my passion for writing. Hey, what's up, Young Obama? How are you? RMJN, how are you, my friend? How am I doing? Doing good. I'm a little tired. Physically, but not like I'm wide awake, basically. Look up Jordan Peterson and Dave Rubin do porn. That shit is hilarious. One of the things that I thought was actually interesting was, I don't know if you have seen the podcast on H3H3 with Jordan Peterson, where JP basically talks about like his encounter with ghosts, essentially, like ghost, paranormal activities. It's weird. Even his life and even in his stories, it's all like deep symbolic meaning to it. My Twitter post. Oh, okay, Yorick. Okay, I get it. Did I see Khan react to Kaido? I did not. I saw that he uploaded it. It got more views than Khan usually does in the time span, so people are probably really excited. How was it? Was it good? I'm kind of disappointed. Like, even though Khan was spoiled on Gear 4, I still would have liked to see his reaction to Dofi getting his ass beat. But, alas, trolls ruin Khan's day, and that in turn ruins my day. So, I also wanted to see Khan's reaction to Sabo and Burgess whenever Burgess basically tries to get under Sabo's skin and makes fun of Ace, essentially. But, alas, outside of that, there was really nothing else to look forward to in Dressrosa, so, I mean. And nothing really to look forward to in terms of reaction. There's really nothing reaction-worthy in the anime post-Dressrosa and Gear 4. There's nothing much. Khan's already gotten past the good stuff, so. What's up, Brandon? GY, oh, I know you'll be there posting some meme about Arouge. What do you think will happen when Luffy meets Basil Hawkins? I think it's going to be very stereotypical of Luffy. Whenever Luffy meets these supernovas, it's all like, oh, I think I remember him, and he doesn't really remember their name, and he associates some characteristic with them, where it's like, you barely know who they are, but they know more about Luffy than Luffy knows about them, because Luffy doesn't keep up with the news. I think it will basically be Hawkins talking and proposing something, or I imagine it'll be mainly Hawkins. I don't see Luffy holding the reins of the conversation in any meaningful manner. Luffy doesn't usually do that. So I think, well, it's interesting. I think either you're gonna have Hawkins go down there, and there's gonna be something to prove or disprove him being an ally to some degree. Do you think we will see Moria return? I want to see Moria's return because I feel like Moria as a villain was kind of underwhelming. I would like to see him get some shine. Because as far as villains go, Moria and Shichibukai go, Moria was kind of a joke. To me, at least. How do I want to see Kaido defeated? I want to see Kaido defeated with no glaring plot conveniences, like Brûlé or the Merienda, or, you know, just some random things that should matter that don't matter. I want to see Kaido defeated at... I want to see Kaido at 100% in control of himself, not this, like, you know, Whitebeard, oh, you know, he gets stabbed in the chest by his own subordinate and betrayed, and then that, like, nerfs him somewhat, or he has to go through hell before he fights them. Even if, like, I don't think this will end up being true because it doesn't, the idea itself doesn't make sense to me, but let's say, like, Law, like, uses some surgery to make Kaido invulnerable. As long as it's, like, a teamwork between all the supernovas and it's not just, like, some random bullshit, that's how I want to see it. I don't want it to be, like, an ass pull, for the most part. I want it to make sense. I want Kaido to demonstrate what a Yonko is really about. I want a really good fight. It should be the best fight in the series, theoretically. If a Yonko fight, the first Yonko fight we get up to that point in the series, isn't the best fight in the series, then you're doing something wrong. Very, very wrong. This is the highest stake fight Luffy has gotten into, or is going to get into so far. It better be goddamn good. No excuses. What's up, HCB? You should get back into writing. I should get back into a lot of things. I used to be able to draw. I could write. I could, you know, I used to work out all the time. Same Saffricon. Yeah, it feels bad, man. What seems to be my favorite arc in the New World so far? So far? Reverie doesn't count in my eyes, so I'm going to say Zoe first. Either Fishman Island or Dressrosa second, and then, like, whichever one of those wins would be the third on my list. Then probably Whole Cake, then Punk Hazard. David says, I like Jordan Peterson's explanation of how he buys stolen merch on eBay at discount prices just for the irony of it. Oh, yeah, all of the communist pieces. He has so many of them. I watched that too. I think it's hilarious. His sense of humor like, it's like the highest intellectual sense of humor. It's like so symbolic. Kon hasn't reacted to Raizo yet. Yeah, in the anime, I didn't think it was good. So, I think, and this is my opinion, and you can ask me why, but Toei ruined Zou so bad that it wasn't even fun to watch. It was probably the worst adaptation I've seen out of any of the arcs that Toei has done. It was that bad. So I'm not looking forward to that at all. Why is Braga on the slideshow? Why not? I don't know if you know, but Kinemon's VV card was shown in chapter 820. Yeah, I was asking people this for 2 days, and no one could actually point out. Dizzy, my good friend in the Luna Discord, pointed out to me. But here's something I want to talk to you guys about. So, we never saw Luffy get this VV card. We assume he has it. But what about his other 2 VV cards? What happened to those? Because Luffy still has the remnants of the VV card left from the Grand Fleet. He has the rest of that. He also has Rayleigh's VV card. What happened to those? Is there no explanation? Like, I don't understand, because Luffy should also have his own VV card. We specifically saw that, like, they didn't take all of it. And it was never stressed that they took all of it. So, I don't really know what to believe. Because if Luffy has more than one VV card, then he could have lost one of the 3 VV cards he has. I don't know. When will we see the other Strahds meet back up? Well, it depends on which group you're talking about. The highest likelihood in my mind is Nami's group will meet up with Zoro's group before any of those groups meet up with Luffy. That kind of seems more apparent to me. For multiple reasons. Much of it is headcanon. But Luffy, he's doing his typical, he's off on his own thing. He's gonna accelerate the plot with different characters. If anything, I expect Luffy to meet up with Law prior to meeting up with Zoro or Nami's group again. And in terms of time length, as long as it takes for Nami's group to meet whatever new characters they're going to meet, because you know that's going to come, and then for that plot to accelerate to the point of them going to see Zoro, while at the same time having Luffy's plotline advancing and Zoro's plotline advancing, so it might be a while. Hope Scratchman does something dope and fights Brook. How about you? Well, I mean, that would be the exact opposite of dope, fighting Brook. That's like the least hype thing I could possibly think of a Supernova doing. So I hope Apu does something a lot more relevant than fighting poor little Brook. Because I don't want Brook to be fodderized that quick. I mean, I don't think that would be good hype for Apu. But you know there will be plot convenience for Luffy and his allies because that's how Oda has been writing his manga. Yes, I realize this. But what I'm asking for is don't make it that reprehensible. Sure, yeah, there's going to be plot convenience, but I'm just trying to say don't make it the highest tier plot convenience you could possibly think of because you didn't properly think through your own actions of your story. Shit, where am I? Okay. David says, after the last chapter, do you feel Luffy has matured as a fighter character that isn't so linear? No, I saw Brago talk about this. I didn't watch Chibi's video, but that was the title of his video. I saw Pharaoh talk about this. I don't see a change in Luffy, and no one's really given me means to why he's changed because everything he's done now, he's done in the past. I'm not sure what people are talking about. Let's see. Burger says, I was talking to a friend and we concluded that the only people who can get the cover story are Buggy, Boa, Smoker, and the one you want, Mihawk. Why are those the only people that you concluded to? Like, what's the story behind that? Steven, my boy, says, okay, serious question. How the fuck are the Straw Hats ever going to get back to the East Blue? Because I'm always confused as to how you can actually get out of the Grand Line. The meta theory for this is basically that you destroy the Grand Line because the Strats aren't going to go back until the journey is complete. Simple as that. But there are also other possibilities. I mean, there's two to three already apparent possibilities. Scale the Grand Line, some matter. Go through the Calm Belt. or go back to Fishman Island. 8 Paulin says, random question. I found the waterfall part really confusing in 9-10. The fresh water flows towards a waterfall. How does that work? I don't think, and I don't expect an answer to this. I don't think Oda intended for this to be something that is scientifically explained. The only thing I could come up with is that, and JB mentioned this in his review of that chapter, that all of the water comes from like a Mount Fuji equivalent, and it's the power of that current that causes these things to occur. How many chapters do I think Kaido versus Luffy will be? I think 5. Well, I mean, that depends, because that's like assuming that those chapters are going to be completely, the entire chapter is Kaido versus Luffy and company, because I think it's actually impossible for Luffy to solo Kaido. Should be impossible. He needs help, for sure. So it'll be Luffy plus, let's go with the headcanon, Law and Kid, or something along those lines. Because there's going to be a little bit in every chapter, so it's not like, you know, I would say probably spanned out between 15 to 20 chapters would be my guess. Yo, what's up, Brian? My boy? Which 3 does he have again? He has a Kinemon's, apparently. Apparently, we never saw Kinemon give this to him. It's just assumed. He also has his own Vivre card, and he has Rayleigh's Vivre card. So he has Luffy has 3 Vivre cards, and technically the group has 4 because Nami still has the other half of Lola's. So the Straws have 4 Vivre cards, and we are in the 21st year of One Piece, and we still don't know how those are actually made. Remember, in Dressrosa, Sabo made one for Luffy. I don't know how that happened. Kinemon, while on Zou, happened to get a Vivre card made, and I don't know how that happened. I thought Vivre cards were made from like a shop or something, a special place, but I guess that was kind of glossed over. So I'm actually kind of curious as to how the hell they're even made. What's up, Yak? Nami's boob to arm ratio is weird. She must have OP shoulders. No, that's Toei Animation. They suck at everything, so that would be the reason. And almost all of the manga, everything with Nami is fairly proportional and realistic. It's the higher end realism, but it's not like ridiculous out of proportion like Toei does because they don't feel like drawing. I get the feeling Luffy keeps all the Vivre cards in his hat somewhere because it's the only thing he never loses. Yeah, that you would assume that. So it's like, so if Luffy has 3 Vivre cards and they're all in his hat, then it's basically RNG. Which one did he lose? But what my guess is that Oda forgot about these other 2 Vivre cards and is only counting the Kinemon one. Yeah, what's up, Lucas? How are you, man? Will Wano be good in the anime of 2019 or 2020? No. It will basically be the same, if not worse, from what it is right now. Do I think the river flows like that because of the chemicals being dumped into the water? No, this kind of seems something that's been taking place way longer than before because Wano's had a history of this, so it's longer than whenever Caesar or Kaido came, I believe. Or I would assume. Hey, Trevor, how you doing? David says, if Shirahoshi is an ally, couldn't you get her to make the Sea Kings help you cross the Calm Belt whenever you want? I mean, yeah, there's a lot of things you can do. Yeah, that's an option if you decide to do that, but it's not like they have any need or want to do so, so it's not necessary. But yeah, I mean, there are a lot of ways they could get past. Steven says, I know this is a Luffy story and all, but I think it would be cool if another supernova got credit for defeating Kaido. I have seen people bring this up before. I mean, it would depend. They're all going to get credit, but it's literally impossible in my eyes for anyone but Luffy to get the most credit. Would it be cool if someone did? Yeah, but at the same time, no. Unless the narrative of the entire fight switched from Kaido caring about Luffy mostly to someone else. Because even for a battle, let's say, for instance, let's say Kid gets most of the credit. Unless the narrative is focused around those two characters more so than everyone else, it makes for a weak victory. Luffy's gonna beat the flashback out of Kaido. Yeah, I'm expecting it. Burger says, we concluded that those are the remaining characters that aren't directly involved in either Wano or Reverie, basically those who don't hold any plot relevance to the current story. You can say that, but the fact that they're all warlords means that they are relevant to the Reverie storyline right now. So I don't know how would you take that? What's going is it Prashant? I'm doing good. How are you? Yeah, I know the fingernail thing, David, but like, how is it actually made? Like, you can just, oh yeah, fuck it, you know, boom, Vivi card. Just out of nowhere. Oh, I know how to make paper. I don't know. Luffy puts all of his important Vivi cards next to his imaginary scar he got from Katakuri. Exactly. Let's see. Papa says, I feel like Oda is pushing the Beast Pirates as more stereotypical Saturday morning cartoon villains, but I think that makes sense due to Kaido's attitude on life, the world, and war. You could be right, Papa, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. Like I talked about before, to me, the best villains in the series by far are Lucci and Crocodile. For me, those are the best villains. And those aren't villains that have super intense backstories justifying each and every one of their actions. They're just kind of like, at least in the storyline that they were in, Crocodile may have a reason now, but they were evil for the sake of being evil. And they were definitely the best executed villains in the story. So I think Oda could do the exact same thing with Kaido, and I wouldn't feel any different about it. The one from Ace Death, and I don't know where the other one from his crew. I feel like every time someone speaks highly of Toei, Drizzt awakens his inner salt fruit. That's also true. You can say that. That's fair to say. I have an extreme bias against Toei because they mess up basically anything they can get their hands on, they're going to fuck it up. HCB says, I think Capone got an 850 million bounty after helping Luffy, but Oda decides to draw Sanji and Chopper cutting holes out of the newspaper. Thanks, Oda. I don't know about 850. I think that might be a bit high for Capone status. But we still have yet to learn if that was kind of just like a meme that Oda was doing where it's like, oh, you know, even though everyone else was mentioned in the paper, only 2 people got bounty increases, so he can later be like, oh, I fooled you. Oh, Sanji, take that. He'll go marry Mo. No. Luffy versus Hawkins, who would win? Luffy, for sure. I mean, obviously, it's skeptical where you think Hawkins is in the power rankings, but for me, Luffy's like basically #1. If you want to argue tie with Kid, sure, fine. Maybe he's tied with Kid, but those are definitely the strongest by far. Luffy would win, especially post Whole Cake Island Luffy. Let's see. Brandon says, I can't wait to see more from Basil. Hawkins, there's so few characters where their power is inspired from magic. Yeah, Hawkins, if you guys saw my review, he's my 4th favorite supernova. I really, really love him. Like, just his design, his demeanor. We don't really know that much about him. I just kind of like him based on what we've seen so far. He's not an in-depth character from what we've seen so far, but I'm excited for what he could be. I think he has a cool fruit, although the next time we see Hawkins transform, I want Oda to actually do something relevant because If you go back and like see, the only thing Hawkins did when he transformed was this. And then he got slapped. It didn't really show off the devil fruit quite well. Lucci and Croc have a lot of precedents. Indeed. Usopp versus Drake. I mean, Drake, like, no diffs him. Otaku says, I think Dofi is evil to be evil, and he has a backstory. That guy was evil from birth. Yeah, but there was the entire thing of, I think there have been people who argue that Corazon is completely wrong in his justification that he was just born evil and that it just fell out of fucking nowhere. There is no reason whatsoever that he was born. I don't know. The reason that he was probably evil was that when all humans are different and he was born into a system that caters towards evil. He was born evil, or was he actually raised evil? You know? I think Corazon might have been full of some shit. Because it's a little bit of both. It's like nature and nurture shit. It's a little bit of both. Did I watch Sora's new video? If not, how many arcs do you think are left in One Piece? Yeah, I watched Sora's new video before this stream started. And my overall thoughts on the video were, I learned nothing, and it didn't cover anything new that people haven't talked about before. It was incredibly bland in terms of content, but it's just Sora's, Sora just basically just said, no, here's my thoughts, boom, just so you can clarify what he thinks. There are some instances where I think you could easily counter-argue against what he says. But, how many arcs? Sawyer said 4 because he thinks there has to be an entire arc for Vegapunk. I think Vegapunk could be in an arc, but I don't think there will be an entire arc around Vegapunk. To me, Vegapunk's kind of more of a supplementary character. So I agree with the 3 that he spoke of. I think there could be 5, though. I expect, you guys know, I expect Emerald City at some point in time. That will be an arc in my mind. So I say 5, maybe. Because, like, here's the thing, right? I've been saying this for a while. The way Oda's doing things, in between arcs, there's kind of like a little chunk here and there where it's not an arc. It's just kind of extra shit. It's like a mini, something that's mini. So we might get that between every major arc. You never know. Talk chapter is up. Just imagine Khan reacting to Whitebeard's brains hanging out. Legendary. Well, I think the reason Kid lost his arm because he tried to get smart with Shanks and it didn't end well. I don't know about that. I mean, I can see why you would think that, but I don't see enough evidence one way or the other to conclude who was the person who did it. I think most people would say, like, Big Mom did it because he went to Big Mom's territory and got run out of town. Which could have been, like, before the time skip, so he was basically still a rookie. He got his ass beat, then he learned from it, lost his arm because of it, and he developed kind of like Luffy got the scar. I mean, he didn't really change that much, but he was supposed to have changed a lot, and boom, he learned from it. So, that could be the instances you're talking about. Let's see. Burger follows up and says, I agree that they aren't important and will most likely be affected by Reverie, but I don't think it'll take effect until after Reverie, so we'd have enough time for a cover story or 2, I hope. It would be nice. Buggy is more likely than the rest of those because Buggy has had a couple so far, but I'm not going to put any money on it. Oda could easily go back to just doing fan requests like he did for a good period in Whole Cake Island. Singleton asks, Drizzt, have you heard about a YouTube One Piece named Greyline Review? Yeah, I've heard about Greyline Reviews. I haven't watched much of his or her content. I'm going to assume he because I assume people's gender. Love that photo of JB on the slides. Yeah, I slip in a few here and there. What is supposed to be Emerald City? The Emerald City, the headcanon in the community is that it's supposed to be Nami's secondary arc. There should be an entire arc about what happened during the time skip, but Oda will decide to write the Davy back arc. Yo, I kind of enjoyed the Davy back arc, but for different reasons. But, I mean, a time skip arc would be completely redundant at this point in time. Really bad. And even if he had the chance, I think Oda did the right thing in skipping it, because it's kind of like, there's really no purpose in doing that. I think I'm going to be 100 when the series ends. Well, it depends how old you are right now. Pain without love. Yeah. I cried myself to sleep. You got me excited for the stream and you didn't start it yet. What the hell are you talking about? You said you think there's 5 arcs left of One Piece. Which 5 are you thinking? Because I got like 7 in mind. 7 in mind? Well, tell me what your 7 are, but basically mine is, I agree with the 3 of what Sawyer said. As my instead of the Vegapunk-centric arc, which is what I think he was trying to imply, I think there will be an arc that has Vegapunk in it, but I don't know what that arc would be about. So just like random arc, Emerald City, I'll throw that in there. I'm still wondering what was the actual point of the Fox art pertaining to the story. It's hard to say at this point. Whenever Oda was at that point in the story, which was over a decade ago, as an artist, he had a lot more leeway in what he wanted to do. He felt like he had time to do this, that, this, and that. So it's like, oh yeah, he just wanted to mess around probably and said, yeah, I'll just do this Davy back arc. Cool, that's fine. And then as basically, because Oda, I'm assuming, this is my assumption, I have no reason, I have no proof to believe this, but I'm assuming that Oda thought at that point in time, like he had the story figured out. It's going to take this many years to do it. And then whenever he got a few years off track, when he wanted to get one thing done, he was like, oh shit, I can't do this anymore. Because I miss kind of like the small chapters where it's just like for me, one of my favorite chapters in the series is actually the Gaimon chapter. I enjoy that one a lot. Where it's very symbolic because it's one of the only chapters, I think it might be the only one, where part of the crew is there, and it's just a chapter solidifying or growing the relationship and bond tighter between two people. In that chapter, it was Luffy and Nami, because it was leading up to Nami's arc. Because Oda purposely had Zoro fall asleep in the boat, so Nami could see how good of a person Luffy was while hanging out with Gaimon. There aren't a lot of chapters like that. That one's very unique. I felt like Oda should have done more. Like, with every character, there should be a little chapter like that, where, like, the crew's off doing something, and then let's say they go to a random island. It doesn't have to be super important, but they hang out with Luffy, and like, you know, Luffy's like, he learned something from it. I've never heard of this Emerald City. It was mentioned by what's his name, Bellamy. You, Vitachi, my bro. Hashtag Luna. Thank you for the $20. This Hey Drizzt, Tachi here. Great review on 9/11. Hope you start to be more timely. Yeah, me too. Keep up with the good work. Glad the current lack of Luna moments haven't shook your love for them. Nami haters on full swing after the latest episode. People who, as I said before in the Discord, people who solely focus on the anime aren't real fans. So, I mean, I'm like thick-skinned as fuck, so nothing's really gonna bother me ever. You guys know that. I'm like rude to a fault, so. Let's see here. Go back. Do we see a new Gear 4 form? I expect a Lion Man form. I think Snake Man is an Observation Hockey base form. Tank Man is Armament Hockey base. Bounce Man is a mix. The limb will be Conqueror's Hockey. I don't think so, because look, think about what Gear 4 is. I don't see how that would really make sense. I don't know. For me, it's like 3 is a magic number. I kind of don't see Oda going one more form. He could. Maybe you're right, Nicholas. If it was a Conqueror's Hockey form, I would actually be pro that, because that means at some point in time, Conqueror's Hockey is going to be a useful ability in the series. So I am totally down for that, but I'm not expecting one. I think 3 is probably the limit, and then next we get is like, you know, the consequence of Luffy mastering basic abilities. Let's see, my boy Brian says, do you think we'll ever reach a point in the series where new rookies come to challenge the crew? Say like a young girl thief tries to steal from the ship and Nami punks her, becomes a mentor? Nope, I don't think so. This is kind of basically what I just said, where it's like Oda doesn't feel like he has the time anymore to do that shit. It's all basically prepping for Endgame. I don't think like Oda could fit that in if he wanted to, if he just like minimized the dumb shit. But as of right now, I think he feels like he can't do that. So we won't see any of those little tiny moments like that. In my opinion, I don't think so. Well, I mean, time skip arc, I mean how Akainu and Aokiji on how Blackbird, Ano, Blast, and Marco, yeah, we're never going to see that. Never. We need an arc for Brook, or at least a point when his past comes out. Well, that could technically happen. I mean, I would like it if Brook got a second arc because he would stop being shit. Haha, triggered you guys. But no, but like, Brook probably deserves a second arc, but it's kind of hard to fit that in. Like, even though Brook is a Straw Hat, he's kind of more of a secondary character. I'm not sure if he is going to get a second arc. Because it's like, okay, if Frankie gets a second arc, it's not really going to be an arc about Frankie. It's going to be like some supplementary thing with Vegapunk. And like Robin, second arc, ow. You know, there's really nothing there left for Robin, aside from, you know, who's my daddy kind of thing. Maybe that's a second arc. It's kind of hard to imagine. I feel like the more important Strats will be the people who get the second arc. But on the off chance that we do, I am pro for that. Yeah, give Brook something to develop his past, develop who he is as a character. That would be amazing. Did Madhouse do the One Piece anime? I don't think it really matters at this point in time. Because, like, here's the thing. One Piece, I think, regardless of the company that picks it up, it's going to be improperly adapted, I think. Because it's a billion episodes. So it's like, any company is going to naturally become corrupt over time. And so they're probably going to have the same motivation as Toei and be like, yeah, fuck it up. Milk this shit. Who fucking cares? We're getting paid, baby. Let's go. I feel like the same would be for Madhouse as well. Burger says, thanks for hashing out the idea with me. I get lost in my own headcanon without someone to sharpen my own theories. Your critical viewpoint is really refreshing in the One Piece community. At least someone thinks that. So I am your community cynic, guys. Appreciate me while I'm here, because I'm the only person that's going to call shit out, basically, on a daily basis. That's my job. Buggy needs to come back with that Johnny Treasure hype. Yeah, I'm actually very interested in that, Hassan. I feel like that would be great. Reese, what are you doing here? Go finish that Dark Souls thing, you nerd. Wow, I see you. Let's see, Hassan says, personally, the way I see it, Sanji will have another arc showing his abilities, and Hokage was just to show Sanji's past. I doubt it. The thing is, that isn't an arc, that's just a fight. That's all you need. It's not another arc. All you need is a fight. So, what do you have to say to that, Hassan? What's your opinion on that? Hey, Silvers, what's up? How you doing, man? Don't get your hopes up, Drizzt, for Emerald City when you saw how Oda treated Sanji in the Hokage arc. He's going to finish massacre her character. No, because Oda cares about Zoro, Nami, and Luffy, so he wouldn't do that to them. Sanji is basic. I mean, as bad as it sounds, Sanji's the character he just kind of has fun shitting on. So, I don't think Oda would do that to the characters he cares more about. If he does, let's say this happens in Wano. Then if it happens to Zoro and Wano where he just gets, like, everything about his character is wrong and it's all doo-doo, then yeah, it will happen to Nami as well. Frankie's your least favorite Straw Hat? Fair enough, you can have your opinion. I would say Frankie's like lower, on the lower end. He's like my third least favorite. If Robin gets another arc, it better be an explanation of where her tan went. Haha. Boom, meme, got him. Yeah, well, yeah, I would like it in Wano. It makes more sense for him to go all out against Yonko. I mean, yeah, that's what I'd say. What's your favorite speech in One Piece? Because Dr. Hiro's speech gets me every time. My favorite speech. Ugh. That's a tough one, because there are a lot of really good ones. Hmm. Well, the thing is, I'm gonna. These are my qualifications for speeches. It's not necessarily the substance or like the content of the speech. It's the emotional impact of the speech that had for both characters. Because, like for instance, Dr. Hiro's speech, content wise, is a lot. There's a lot there, philosophically, but and emotionally wise too. That's why it's a top tier speech. Let's see, some of my favorites. I mean, I liked Ace's little last words to Luffy. That was beautiful. I mean, that gets me choked up every single time because like the pain and suffering, you can hear it, and the happiness as well. That's probably up there with me. I like Zoro's speech to Luffy after he gets defeated by Mihawk. That's all. That's sweet. Um, Zones to Law when he's sleeping is also adorbs. What's up, Ali Wang? Let's see, what did I see? Do I think Brooke is going to befriend the guy with the jacket fruit and finally get some skin? I hope not. Reese, what's up? How you doing? What are you doing? A third arc for Sanji? Oh no. Me too. Drizzt, will we get a year of Nami? Drizzt, Wano is the year of Zoro. I mean, I hope not. I don't want anything official because the only time the official happened, there was definitely not the year of Sanji as people expected it to be. I don't think there will be any more announcements of the year of said person. No, you're memeing Reese, but Captain Kuro is actually a really good villain. Says Drizzt, I agree with you in him having a fight only now that he only doesn't have much time to complete the manga. Well, I mean, that's something you have to take into consideration. I mean, it's not like he has infinite time anymore. A third arc for Sanji before you get even a second arc for somebody else seems unlikely to me. Like, for instance, like the major power-ups in the series have come in someone else's arc. Annie's Lobby, that was Robin's arc, and that was the main power-ups of the crew pre-time skip. Post-time skip, I mean, we see Luffy is in other people's arcs getting power-ups. Law's arc, Luffy gets a power-up. Wow. Who would have thought that? You know? Oh, Blackbeard's speech. That's a good one, too. I forgot about that one. That's a good one, too. Correct. How do I see the Grand Fleet being reintroduced into the story? There is the popular headcanon of, oh no, Luffy's Yuri card is on fire. Let's go. But the other thing is also if Luffy just calls and asks for their help. Because they will come at his request. So, I think it's probably one of the two. Burger says, I really want to see Bonnie and Wano, but there's no way I can think of that actually happening. Is there anyone you want to see in Wano show up that hasn't been foreshadowed? That hasn't been foreshadowed? I mean, to a degree, I would like to see Crocodile in Wano or Moria. I would enjoy that. Chris, would you mind another time skip, whether short or long? Depends on how it's executed. I mean, as of right now, a time skip is so unnecessary that I'll be like, well, what's the fucking point? Because I don't see any justification for a time skip. It's so unnecessary. But, I mean, if it'd be weird at this point in time. I don't know. It would depend on how it's handled. If it's handled well, then yeah, sure. Cool. Whitebeards? Ooh, yeah. That's probably numero uno. Maybe. Ooh, that's a good one. I think Ace is a shitty character. Why? Just, I know he is. No, you don't know shit, Reese. I want to see Boa Hancock meet the crew and see their reaction on how she loves Luffy. Hopefully Nami gets jealous. I don't think that's going to happen. The only way I can see Boa being introduced properly and formally to the crew is if this. And this is something I'm hoping happens. It's kind of iffy because I'm not sure what Oda wants to do. Because he's got a bunch of shit going on right now with Wano. And if Elbaf is next after Wano, he's got that. But whenever the warlord system gets abolished, that it forces something to happen to Hancock, and it forces Mihawk into action. Mihawk has to do something once that happens, and so does Boa. They should be involved somehow in the story. So that's the only way I can see that happening. But aside from that, the only other time I see Boa meeting them is at the end of the story, where it's the final war, and it's like, oh, here's Boa. It's like, oh, hey. Shanks and Mihawk's interactions are awesome. That's because Shanks and Mihawk are just badass, man. Most overrated, underrated arcs for you. Most overrated and underrated. Overrated is Marineford. That one's kind of obvious. Underrated. I want to say Skypiea or Alabasta. Those were really good arcs. Romance Dawn was also amazing. Somebody has to mention Mihawk and Wano. Yeah, you would assume so. I think we will get it eventually. But I'm not expecting too much because I still really haven't figured out Mihawk as a character. Like, what the fuck he's gonna do. I was talking to a Mihawk fangirl really right before the stream was talking to Den Den, and I was talking about how like I eventually plan on making a Mihawk video, but I'm so confused. Like I haven't made a conclusion out of everything I've seen from Mihawk because I don't really know what the hell Oda wants from it. Like there's the entire religion aspect that's being connected to multiple characters, and then there's like, what the hell is Mihawk good for? You know, what does he do after certain events? It's like, I don't know. Yo, what's up, JB? How you doing? Reese, that actually happened. Chopper has a girlfriend now. Wasn't it implied that Mori got killed by Dofi in the war? Trevor, I'm surprised you don't know this. It was confirmed that he escaped. His cheeks are in danger. Well, they should be. Yo, what's up, Candyman? How you doing? Boa's gonna be in trouble too because of Fuji. It's possible. I'm hoping so because while I don't have much faith in Boa being handled properly leading into the future, because the only way I see Boa being reintroduced is for the purpose of basically having her meme with Luffy. Because I prefer Boa's Ice Queen kind of bitch nature because it kind of separates her from the average person. But I'm not sure if Boa's gonna get like her something just for her. What I would prefer is I feel like Boa has to finally overcome her slave status. Everyone should find out in her country that she's a slave. She has to accept that, learn from it, move past it, and become a different person, which is why I've always said, you know, when you guys ask about it, is that I think Boa's history as a slave is going to be revealed to the world. No love for Thriller Bark. Thriller Bark's an alright arc, but it's not underrated. I think it's exactly where it should be. Let's see. Silver says, can't remember if I asked already, but do what East Blue Villain do you think could have been done better in the Grand Line? Kuro. I like Kuro. I mean, I feel like Kuro's a cool guy. So he could have been done. I mean, he could have been more intimidating in the Grand Line for sure. But even Krieg, like Don Krieg, like you could have had what he had with during Sanji's arc whenever he joined the crew, but you could also have shown him enter the Grand Line and like have a supplementary follow up to him. But I would personally choose Kuro because I think Kuro is cool. Did I hear that Universal Studios is making a One Piece live action movie and Oda is involved? Yep, that's it. I would kind of consider that old news at this point, but yep, I've heard of it. Is she thick? Kinda, Reese. Brandon says, speaking of Mihawk being brought up in Wano, it would be cool to see other characters with the same dream as Zoro and lengths they're willing to go to pursue it. Yeah, I agree. That would be cool. That would be cool. Read the new Tower of God chapter on stream. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. Kuro was the GOAT, but his crew was ass nuggets. His crew was pretty buns. Did Kuro escape or go to Impel Down? I'm pretty sure Kuro probably escaped. Remember Luffy threw Kuro to his crew and they sailed off. There was even a reaction panel later on in the story of Kuro checking the newspaper after was it after Alabasta when Luffy beats Crocodile? Something like, or maybe it was after, I forget when it was, but Kuro read the newspaper when Luffy was in it. He will choose Buggy-sama, of course. Only kind of okay, lost interest. You didn't have interest to begin with, Reese. You're a bad memer. Josh versus Oars was great. Yeah, it was enjoyable. I don't think it was amazing, but I thought it was enjoyable. How will Zoro get his next scar? I mean, the most blatant thing I could give you is like, oh, he gets fucked up by some samurai. I don't know. Aside from that, I mean, there's really an obvious answer. Maybe he'll probably get one whenever he fights Mihawk. Drizzt didn't Ging say he was going to meet Sanji in the Grand Line? I kind of wish Oda followed through on that. He implied that, like, it was never, Ging is probably alive, but it's like, oh, if I survive, you know, let's meet again or something. It'll probably happen someday, but when is anybody's guess. What about Boa's island joins Luffy's kingdom? That's possible as well. But that would also mean that Boa would have to be involved in the plot in which Luffy's like, here, come under my flag, yada yada. Because that's kind of what happened with Fishman Island. Why don't I do my own group discussion streams? Well, I don't even have a group. My group is Brago's group. So, there's that. Favorite Straw Hat? Luffy. So I think Mori will show up in Wano. The headcanon of Gear 4th Nightmare Luffy will happen. That is not the reason I would want Mori to show up. Please, God, no. Do not let that happen for that reason. That would be trash. Do I think Moria could show up? Yeah, I think Moria could show up. If he could show up at any point in time, this would be the time to show up. You did give me that Nami poster. He said it's true. Yo, what's up, Quietly Loud? How you doing, bro? By the way, Drizzt, did you check the meme Discord channel on the last stream? Cough about Walker? I did. I did. I appreciate it. It was great art. Boa versus Law? Law. You have me. I do have silvers. If I don't know, it's weird because people are in different time zones. Because like I could count on silvers to be there every time, but like let's say if I wanted to get like the Luna Discord involved, that would be a bit hard. I'm not sure when I would do it. I don't know. Maybe I'll consider it. I mean, that would be the easiest way for me to make videos is like do this and be like upload it. Fucking holy shit. Oh, ain't got no cheeks, no hashtag no cheeks, facts. I owe you everything. Yeah, that Ehigo jacket as well. Joseph Prince says, think Moria hit the New World Gym and got buff, or is still the Onion we know and love? I want him to be the Onion because I can't even picture Moria looking anywhere near competently cool. It would look so weird. What character would you like to see die next in the story? Now we're talking, baby. Hell yeah. I mean, I would actually like to see Law die because now, I mean, I love Law, top 10 favorite characters. If Law died, oh, that would be absolutely awesome. I would love it. After him, I would actually like to see Inuarashi and Nekomamushi die. Would not mind that. I would like to see... Who'd be the next big person? Please, Shanks. Oh, yeah. Kill Shanks. Kill Shanks. That would be the best. Please. Please. That would be so amazing. Kill Shanks. How shady would it be if Killer was another one of Kaido's underlings? I mean, in what way would that be shady? It kind of seems very unlikely given Oda's kind of revealed the backstory between Killer and Kid. Favorite Paramecia Devil Fruit. Oh, the Gura is pretty dope. Not gonna lie. Might be the Gura. We'll go with that for now. Oh, I know. Wow, I know you'd wake up. Boa has ass in the movies. Movies don't count. You want to borrow my group? I'll lend them to you. Well, then they wouldn't be my group. They'd be your group. You even have a group, JB? I don't even know. Is that your Discord group that you had the stream with today? Young Obama says, "Yo, Drizzt, do you think it would be cool if Smoothie? Oh God, if Smoothie gave Zoro his first L? Oh, since Mihawk to make that 900 mil bounty, she has meaning, or will the fanbase hate on it and Oda will just bitch her out? The second option." Please God, Smoothie is so useless. No, I would be so mad, dude. I would be so mad. Fuck Smoothie, man. No way. Oh, I would be salty. Not gonna, that. Oh, Smoothie. Oh, Salt Boys. No, Shanks is gonna die. If you had a choice to make Sanji a better... I see that. Okay. If you had a choice to make Sanji a better character, how would you do it? I know you said it before, but I remember missing that part in one of your streams. If you want to make Sanji a better character, I have a video called Sanji's biggest character development. Basically do that. I mean, the same thing is the same thing I said with a lot of characters. It's like, it's no secret. The answer for all of them is roughly the same. Make them more of an individual than they are gag. So proportion it out. So the thing we don't remember a character most for is their gags. Gags are supposed to be secondary, like the lowest part of a character. That's not supposed to be their highlighting feature. Just highlight all of Sanji's other things and then make him grow. You know, because Sanji still has a lot to grow and learn from that he is completely ignorant of and has admitted to his own faults, but he refuses to grow from it. It's very, very easy. See, JB says, "I want to see Bart die." Bart, what's your headcanon for that, JB? What's, I would say that's probably the first I've seen that. Bart. You want to explain that? Shanks' death would cause Gear Zero. Oh, it'll be so great. What supernova do I think would die in the war? I mean, the only person I can guess right now would be Law. if not law, then let's say a supernova turns evil, or didn't turn, but what was evil and fights that person. So, Apu, chickarao. Which, speaking of which, that's my new notification for subbing to my channel. Kill anybody with the straw hats? No, I would like it if one straw hat died, I'd be cool with it. Let's see. Burger says, I think Blackbeard will die, end of story, only after getting the One Piece. I disagree. I think Blackbeard will die, but I don't think he will ever get the One Piece. People who argue this, they can never counteract any statement debunking it. Like, it's just people just wanting it to happen. Like, the Whitebeard speech is more than enough proof that that's not going to happen. You watch A Quiet Place, Reese? Was it actually bad? Compare it to a bad movie. Was it like the It adaptation bad? Zoro would Loki destroy Smoothie? No. Right now, Zoro would lose to Smoothie, but I would still be pissed off because Smoothie's trash. A trash-ass character. What if Im-sama lives on past EOS and that's trash? If Shanks dies, then Mihawk dies from a broken heart. Oh, that's true. They get that yaoi relationship going. Not Usopp, but I could see Robin dying. A man in the community will die with her. Feels bad, man. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I could see Usopp dying. Or Sanji dying, realistically. I could see one of those two dying out of all of them. If Zoro died, oh my god. That would, oof. I mean, that would be rough. Oh god, I don't know if I could take that one. React to Cole's power scaling video he did today. Did Cole do one today? Oh, look at that. Oh, my glasses. Fucking hell yeah, dude. I don't remember seeing Cole upload a video today. Oh, Jesus Christ. No. No. Hell no. Red Force podcast. Yo, someone's talking about the goal of the show is the One Piece. Once the goal is met, there's no point of going on. I mean, yeah. I mean, that's why that's basically like the last part before the last arc. You know, the whole war against the world government. If M lives, then it wouldn't make sense because then Luffy wouldn't win, and we know that's going to happen. That's kind of the entire point of Luffy being the one, is to end the cycle of repetition and to bring a new age. It was worse. It was like a B movie that got a good cinematographer. What was your least favorite part about Reese? I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard some people say it was good and some people say it was trash. Smoothie ain't trash. What? Smoothie is probably the most trash character that I have seen in the series. Facts. Luffy will die, fam? I don't think so. I don't think it would make much sense for Luffy to die. As per the way I see the story now. I don't think every tribe will achieve. Yeah, I think all of them will achieve their dreams. Easy. If Zoro died, Oda would get legit death threats. If any of the Straw Hats died, that would happen, but it would happen a lot if Zoro died. Watch it, Drizzt. No, I can't take it. Like, I just can't do it because you guys know that me and King disagree on a fundamental level when it comes to analyzing One Piece. So anything usually he says in terms to this, we just can't agree on because we see the narrative completely different. So it's not productive. Shanks will not die until he serves his purpose. Yeah, which it's coming up soon. His timer's coming down. Wow. Shanks is gonna die, motherfucker. I have the Shanks death thing floating around fucking over here. You'll see it eventually. When do you think we'll get a new One Piece movie? Because Film Z was kind of bland, even though it looked nice. I haven't watched Film Z, but I watched Film Gold, and Film Gold was all right. It was solid. Maybe next year. Maybe like the earliest I could possibly see is announced sometime during December, perhaps somewhere around there. Like that would be the time frame I would expect it if it was happening this year. If Treble dies in a forest, does anybody care? No. I hear in the Discord, Nox has a new video. React to that. Then who's Nox? Is that the Smite God? People think Sanji and Zoro are equal cancer. I mean, we've all been through. You guys have been in enough streams with me. The countless King of Lightning streams where they've gone over this. You guys already know what he thinks. Do you think there is merit to the theory that eating 2 devil fruits will not kill you? No. What's the idea behind that? I should make a One Piece death poll. Oda said Smoothie really powerful. You'll be tripping. Yeah, Oda had to say, don't worry, guys. Smoothie's really strong in an SPS because he couldn't fucking show it in the arc that she was in. That's how strong Smoothie is. Don't be hating on Smoothie, guys. She's like really strong and stuff, and like just wait till next time she does stuff. Like almost sink her own ship, stand behind a corridor. She could have taken Brooke away. It's like, I'll just sit here because I'm fucking woohoo. And then Big Mom has to come down and handle shit. While chasing the Straw Hats, her and her dumb bimbo sisters are like, we should have just done nothing the whole time. What the fuck it did? Yeah, Smoothie's trash. If she gets good, then I'll admit she's good. But until then, cancel that. That's only in the Dojin, Reese. You fucking... you fucking troll. If Luffy does return the Straw Hat, what will his new epitaph be? Well, I don't think Luffy's going to return. I mean, Shanks is going to die. I mean, I feel pretty confident in that. Shanks will probably die. And Oda stated that the only ways, this is in one of the earliest color walks, I think, or earliest data books, the only way Luffy would give up his Straw Hat is if he became Pirate King or he died. So Luffy's going to become Pirate King, so maybe somewhere around there. Nuxtaku, sorry, misspelled. What was the video? What do you think will be the cause for Blackbeard to want to kill Shanks? If you think Blackbeard will be the one that is, well, I don't think necessarily needs to be a cause. It's just like you have to wait for Blackbeard to take action, and whenever Blackbeard takes action, it's based around the other events of the plot. Because as we all know, Blackbeard has a super plan that's going to be coming through eventually. I expect part of it to start to unravel in Wano at the end of Wano. You know, there's that entire Blackbeard comes in, kills Kaido, gets his Devil Fruit, then he's ready to take over the world, basically. And that would finally cause the clash between Shanks and Blackbeard. And I feel it's going to happen soon. Soon. Like 4 or 5 years. Soon. Remember Big Mom's oldest daughter? I don't. Yeah, Compo. Oh, Compo. Oh, what a beast. What Devil Fruit do I protect Weevil to have? I don't actually have an answer for that. Yo, Silver, thanks for the $2, bro. Let me see what you said. Be a guest in the Red Force podcast, please. If you would have me, I mean, I'd be fine coming on. No problem. Did I just see a Boruto comment in here, or was I imagining stuff? Yeah, what's up, Devil Lake? How you doing, man? Do I want to be on a show next month? Yeah, sure. Yeah, no problem. Would love to. I would be honored. Shanks will never die. Yeah, right. Do you actually believe that? Do you seriously believe that in your heart of hearts? Wow. Shanks is gonna live? Come on, look me in the eye. Let's see, what is this link? I'm gonna check this link. Pixel, I bet it's gonna be some dumb shit.
With the sheer breadth.
Oh. How Luffy taught me about discrimination? Oh. This looks like a trash-ass video, dude. Oh. I don't want to watch this, man. This topic is fucking retarded. Yo, Steve-O! Yo. Mod the Comb Boy. Comb Boys for life. What's up, Steve-O? Be a guest in the unofficial One Piece podcast. Nice, Devil Egg. The idea is that the world government lied about the Devil Fruits exploding you, and Blackbeard has 2 Devil Fruits. Well, I don't know. The entire mystery behind, like, even other people who know stuff about Devil Fruits, like, pirates don't just randomly believe the world government for everything that they're worth. So, I mean, you would assume there were probably situations where this came up and then people actually died. And Blackbeard's like an anomaly. Even Oda stated in data books, like, the only way to figure out how Blackbeard did this was to look at his age. So, I mean, Blackbeard's like a... What's it fucking called? An outlier. Let's make it happen then. For sure. For sure. Hit me up on the DMs. Dick pics not wanted. Which fights get off screen this arc? It's not that all of the fight will be off screen, but I expect some action will be off screen consistently. Yeah, I agree, Lucy. That would be trash. Is that the real Steve-O? Yeah, see, Red Force believes, man. Shanks is gonna die. Glad to see you're doing all right, Steepo. I couldn't finish the next talking vid. You're going to have to finish it for me. Dude, this topic is so redundant. Like, this isn't something like... Oh. It's not... It doesn't make for a good One Piece video. How Luffy taught me about discrimination. Come on, that's like so self-preachy. This is like filler. I don't like these kind of topics. You've been growing more toxic lately? Good observation. Yeah, most likely. That is probably a good critique. Who is the Poe D cast? Does Karu get with Vivi, or is that only the Dojin? That is not even in a Dojin, Reese. Nice try. This was your opinion on the Black Manga Credit tweets. I haven't seen many of them. I have only really seen one, and like I explained to the person who showed it to me why he was wrong, but I didn't comment on it because I'm not doing that. He says some pretty outlandish things, I would say. He says, Drizzt, which outcome would make you more salty? Kuena being queen or Zoro's sensei being the shogun? Or salty? I mean, I guess... I don't know. It's like... The situation that would make me the most salty is Kuena is the shogun. That would make me really salty. But out of those two, it's like... Zoro's sensei being the shogun, I guess, would be one that I think would be kind of more ridiculous to assume. Liar, I saw it. No, you didn't. You're lying. What if next chapter Hawkins just DDTs the fuck out of the Straw Hat ship? Well, I mean, we both know it'll be saved by the octopus somehow. Honestly, I hate how they just leaving their ship there recently and that the enemies never do shit to it. Well, that's kind of been a motif in One Piece for a long time. Which is why I came across an interesting theory about a year, maybe over a year ago, talking about the Guardian of the Straw Hat ship. And it has to do with the fact that Luffy has been wanting a bronze statue for a while now. And people speculated that there could actually be they could get a bronze statue on the ship and it would be like the protector of the ship while they're doing their stuff, whether it be like an actual like a sentient like robot kind of thing or whatever. I thought it was a really cool idea. I really like it. If Oda didn't plan for the supernovas, how would Luffy escape Marineford? Well, I mean, it's not really hard to imagine. It's like, so you have to imagine that a lot of the events were just basically are going to be retconned, just insert someone else changing it. It would be really easy for Oda to write Luffy getting out of Marineford. It would just be someone else doing something heroic, and then they would barely get away. That's basically it. As a writer, it's not that hard to do. Hawkins about to do some trippy stuff. I hope so. I like Hawkins. Octopus for Nakama. People have been saying this. Like, I don't know. Is it me, or is like the for Nakama meme just like kind of getting old now? It's like Judge top 5 isn't funny anymore. Like, it's died. Let it die. Kill it if you have to. Zoro getting his cheeks ran through when he meets the Shogun. I called it. I hope so. I would really like it if Zoro lost. I would personally enjoy that. They're already protected by the god of ships. Why people question whether or not Oda will write some bullshit? Because they have faith. They're like, they're a believer. They're believers. They're like your dick. It believes. Do I see Ball and Clay coming back into the story? Yeah, for sure. For sure, Tom. The way I see it is like a lot of things in One Piece are cyclical, which means that the past is doomed to repeat itself until the final problem is solved. So if there is an initial breakout pre-time skip for Impel Down, I expect there, once everything goes to shit, there's going to be a secondary breakout from Impel Down. The new Ivankov is Bon Clay. You have a new uprising, different, like, similar situation, different characters, and that's like the new substitutes for characters. You even have similar characters in there as there were pre-time skip. Dofi and Crocodile are very, very similar. The arcs were very, very similar. So, I mean, yeah, I expect it at some point in time. But only whenever, like, we get to some business that would require them to leave. Until then, they're probably going to lie low. Like, Zoro would mid-diff the Shogun. What? How? Mid-diff? Mid-diff. So it's not even really a challenge. Mid-diff? No way. No, that would be... Nah, I would not like that. Come on. The Shogun of Wano? Please. Don't do that. That'd be boring. I would also enjoy Luffy losing. Oh, yeah, that'd be sick. Luffy loses a lot compared to everyone else. Luffy, like, loses, like, 3 times a fight. Victor asks, what are the matchups you would like to see from the Straw Hats versus the Blackbeard Pirates? Aside from the obvious, who do you see fighting San Juan Wolf or Vasco Shot? You have your own headcanon, but would love to hear. Vasco Shot. San Juan Wolf. Well, San Juan Wolf's a ship, basically. I mean, kind of like a Frankie job, I guess. Kinda? Kinda? It'd be applicable. Vasco Shot. Jinbei? They're both really ugly. I'll say Jinbei. Zoro losing. XD. What's next? Sanji getting a W? Ooh. Oof. Oof. Why is Joey winning the slideshow? I mean, why isn't he? That's the better question. Brago's in here too. Yo, what's up, Extra Thick? How you doing? Hopefully you had a great weekend, boy. See you later, Brandon. That's how far do you think the Shogun's power level is from Kaido's? Ridiculously far. Like, heaven and earth far. That's how far I see Yonkos away from their commanders, so it would be of similar stature. Why do people think Zoro is stronger than Luffy? Because they're fanboys. They always say he didn't try so far in New World, but his opponents so far can't even compare to Luffy's opponents. People just like Zoro, so they just... There's really no reason. Honestly, there's really no reason. Which are my favorite Blackbeard pirates? Aside from Blackbeard, like Shiryu, like Lafayette. I like Burgess. Wee haha. Outside of that, they're all kind of form into like a conglomeration of. They're all right. I mean, I don't really know much about them. Van Augur's kind of cool. A lot of the supplementary impulse down characters are just kind of there. I don't have an opinion on them until we learn more about them, but they're solid. I wish we got to see them more. Devil says, I hope Sanji somehow gets off-screen no diff by Hawkins just to see the community reaction. Would you actually want to see that? Like I know you meme about not being a Sanji fan, but whenever something happens, Devil Egg, you're always, I feel like you're there to try and prop him back up. That would be, oh my god. I mean, I could actually see that happening because Sanji is a literal punching bag for Oda, but oof. Drizzt, has Oda created a controversial chapter that blew up on the internet like the latest chapter of My Hero? I mean, I don't even know what the My Hero chapter was like controversial. It was like all right. I mean, yeah, a lot of Whole Cake Island chapters blew up and were controversial. So controversial that the editors had to go in and be like, "Oh, we fucked up. Sorry. We'll fix it in the actual volume." Or like, "Well, oh crap, we didn't mean to. They're not pedophiles. Sorry." Like the whole Flampe being 15 shit, that blew up and they had to, actual statements had to be made. Did you add Joy Boy to the slide before? Before. What are the devil fruits you want to see Kaido, King, and Queen have? Kaido, Dragon, Devil Fruit. I still think that's probably the best shot. King. Now that Orochi is there, they're from the color spreads, people had speculated that King would actually have the Dragon Devil Fruit, and Kaido would have a conglomeration of something else. But King, a tiger maybe. Tigers, especially in Japanese lore, are really, really up there and really, really prominent. As far as Queen, I don't know. What devil fruit that's a Zoan would be what's a female animal? Oda will definitely, unless Queen is an Okama, they will probably get an effeminate animal. So think of like the most effeminate animal you can that's like stereotypical, and Oda will use that. Do I read dojins of Nami? No, all of the dojins, like the hentai, dojins are awful. I just read fan fiction and shit. Sanji will come out of the arc 70% of the time and then come back to do something cool. Yeah, it's cool. All right. On his My Hero, author gave highlight to a guy who abused his family. So what's the big deal? Drizzt, don't you think that the strats will only be a section on the Wano war because Kaido wants to make a big war and they could just be a small part of the war? Thoughts? No, they will be the main part of the war. For sure. I mean, you already know that. Like, Luffy's opponent is going to be Kaido. That kind of already gives them a major spot on the war. You don't have Luffy, even with help, going up against Kaido and then have the strats be a small part of that war. It wouldn't really make sense to me because Kaido's opponent isn't the world government in this fight. It's actually Luffy. Unless that changes in the future. Let's say it changes in the future, then yeah, I would agree with you. But until the narrative switches to be something less more important than the Straw Hats, I don't have a reason to believe that yet. Let's see. Steve-O, my boy, says, I just hope that Oda actually utilizes Sanji in a way that doesn't make him look shitty. I agree. Even though I hate Sanji with a burning passion, second least favorite character in the series. I'm like Skip Bayless now, I'll remind you every time. He can be a hype tool, but there are ways to do that without him getting shit on. Agreed. What about that egg on Roger ship I heard JB talking about today? Well, I didn't watch the stream, but I mean, if you have watched any of JB's past theories on the egg, then I think you kind of get the gist about usually he connects it to like the Uranus or the idea behind Momo. Spiders? Spiders. Oh yeah, spiders. That's a good one. That's a good one. Okay. I believe that one. Spiders. Then, you know, there's a queen spider god, so I mean, that could be true. That's a good idea. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna buy it yet, but it's a good idea. Assuming that there's a queen. Yes, assuming that there is a queen. Which, I mean, until disproven, I will say there is one. Why do people assume that Shogun is a fighter? Momo said that he would be one day, and he seems pretty weak. Right now, Momo is 8. The Shogun's name is Orochi. Orochi comes straight from the mythology and is one of like the strongest, most prominent figures in Japanese lore. There is no way someone named Orochi is gonna be like some pussy figure. A cougar. Oh, jeez. Oh, there's at least a few Paramecia on Kaido's crew. Zones are pretty much the most boring. I doubt there will be any Paramecia. The entirety of Big Mom's crew was Paramecia. I assume the entirety of Kaido's crew will be Zone. I think people forget this is a story about Luffy. That's not an excuse. Like, it's a story about Luffy, so you can't be a good writer kind of thing. I don't agree with that idea whatsoever. Because that's like saying, if you have a lot of panel time to do the exact opposite of what we're talking about, then you're using that panel time to waste away. Oda is above such petty writing as hype tool. When someone beats Sanji, you aren't like, oh my god, that guy can beat Sanji. More like, oh, another person that can beat Sanji. Good point. I agree with that. Given the period of time in which this has been occurring, that's a prominent statement, Devil Egg. I wish Sanji would get a feat that isn't just sneaking someone with a kick. Yeah, same. It like, here's the thing. Like, goes down to repetition and character continuity, which I talked about in my review. But like, every time Sanji does something, it's like he comes out of nowhere. The person doesn't know he's there. He kicks him and then runs away. Basically. I mean, it's like there's only so many times you can do that and be excited. Is there any chance Kazoo lives to see the final war? Kazoo. Fill me in. Who's Kazoo? Oh, Kaido. No, not really. I don't think so. By the time that the final war happens, all of the Yonko will be gone, in my opinion. It does not make any sense to me for any of the Yonko to still be there by the time the final war comes. As people talking, whoops. As people talking, it's fairly controversial. This is the first week I've seen most people of the community talk about a series more than One Piece after the chapter drops that I can remember. I mean, what is this? These people have like no comprehension of writing. It's like, how many times we don't see this shit in One Piece? Like, how many absolutely reprehensible characters who have done bad things have like, oh, he's a good guy, Paul shit, and it's never like, blah, 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 blah. It's always Goda, and oh my god, he has a backstory, and oh, he can change. Everyone can change, but it's somehow different in My Hero. I think that's because I don't know. It kind of sounds like My Hero fans are just thin-skinned. It kind of goes down to a lack of writing comprehension. Like it's not that complicated, man. Queen Arachne sounds dope. That does sound dope. Oda's a troll, Drizzt. If anyone do it, it will be Oda. Well, that's hard facts. That's hard facts, Debo. I'm just... I have no reason to believe it yet. I kind of mentioned before that it could be possible that the Shogun is a figurehead, but I'm not getting those vibes anymore. So I like Whole Cake Island. Do you think it has some missing spots, or do you hate it? As I said, as soon as Whole Cake, even before Whole Cake ended, out of 10, I give it a 7. Which means 7 is okay. It's an okay arc. 7 is okay, 8 is good, 9's amazing, 10's perfect. So it was okay. Could have been top. It could have been like top 3 arcs of all time though, in One Piece. It had the potential. As I said before, like I said this in Reverie, I believe, that my stance on Whole Cake Island is that it is the arc with some of the best ideas hands down within the series, but the worst execution of any arc in the series. So that kind of levels out to be just, yeah, it's alright. I think Opera was a loggy, but there's no way to prove it. I mean, there's no way to prove it because, I mean, it's like Treble, right? People thought Treble was a loggy, but he ended up being a Paramushi anyway. That could be the same with Opera. I hope that Jinbei has not turned into a homie the next time we see him. Do you think we will see him in Wano? Yeah, I think it's kind of inevitable at this point that Jinbei shows up in Wano. In what form, we'll remain to see. But yeah, I think for sure he'll be in Wano at some point. Red Force follows up on my previous comment by saying, stories about Luffy as in most major events revolve around him, like him defeating Kaido. No one else will get the final blow. Oh, just talking about this, like Luffy. We're just talking strictly about Luffy. Is this in correlation to the question about, like, what if someone else got the final blow in Kaido thing? Yeah, you would find a way to bring bounty hunters into the Silvers. I fucking knew it. DC says, I agree. It's not that complicated, but people have been talking about it more and more. I think it's just because My Hero's new, and to be honest, it's a pretty simplistic series. So whenever it starts to explore something that is actually complex or things of that nature, people are like, oh, fucking reprehensible. Horikoshi's legacy is ruined. Joshua says, Drizzt, do you agree that Yonko have to die and not be captured or remain in the New World? I think, not that they have to die, but they will no longer be in power, at the very least. But I do believe all of the Yonko will die in time. I think Kaido will die, I think Big Mom will die, I think Shanks will die, and I think Blackbeard will eventually die as well. And there will be no more Yonko. Their purpose is irrelevant after they fall. Mihawk is the Shogun, stop. I feel like villains like Lucci and Crocodile work not because they're deep characters, but because they have a lot of presence. I feel like Kata is the best villain of One Piece because he has all that. I would probably place Katakuri in the lower tier of villains so far. I mean, well, I'll get to that whenever I get to my Katakuri retrospective, but I feel like Katakuri had a lot more potential to be good. But I do agree with your steps on your statement on Lucci and Crocodile. Which is a 10 arc for you in One Piece? No arc is a 10 in One Piece for me. The highest I have is like a 9 or a 9.5. But if you want to scale something based on, like, if I had to say something's a 10 and I'm scaling down, objectively, I think Water 7 and Enies Lobby are the best arc, but I put Marineford over that because of my sentimental value of the series. So there. What do I think is going to happen with Carrot moving forward? It's not looking good. Not looking good. In my opinion, Oda's kind of blown Carrot as a character. What I predict so far is Carrot will be in the background for most of the arc, like she has been for the past 2 arcs. She will come up every now and then. She'll probably get a fight in Sulong form. She won't get anything relevant to her character, and then she'll probably join the fleet, as I predicted before. She'll join the crew as the emissary of Momo. Once Momo joins the crew, and then if Pedro's alive, then it'll probably like Wanda, Carrot, and Pedro are gonna be the retainers for Momo while he journeys with the Straw Hats. That's why I think it sucks. It sets up interesting conflicts, but resolves them so unsatisfyingly. Oh, but Whole Cake? Yeah, agreed. I'm surprised Jinbei isn't even in the color pages yet. Yo, all Jinbei stands are fucking furious because of that. Therefore says, as when people craft theories, they forget that it's all about Luffy, and most events must be about him. The story happen at all. Happen at all. Is this in justification for other characters getting shine? It's gonna happen, WoW. You know it. People never complain about the writing of Kingdom 2. That's why Drizzt is the GOAT. Oh, I put. I mean, I'm assuming it's because I complain about Kingdom 2. Yeah, Kingdoms. Before I started Kingdom, people were like, it's the fucking GOAT, man. Fucking Shin, dude. It's the fucking best manga ever, bro. And it's really, really good. But to pretend like it's like people were saying this is like better than One Piece, low key, bro. And I see a lot of flaws with it. It's still really good. I really enjoy reading it, but it's got a handful of flaws. We need to see some of the samurai of Wano versus Zoro with all the swordsmen around. I feel Luffy might face a few challenges. You would assume so, but Luffy fought 10 hours against Cracker and basically only suffered 1 injury during the course of a 10-hour fight, or 11-hour fight, 12-hour fight. 11, 12, 12? Because Katakuri's was 11. I think it was Cracker's was 1 more. 12-hour fight, only got injured once against a swordsman, so that was commander level. So, I don't know. Maybe. Will we see a Zoro versus a Dojo moment? Ooh, that's a nice idea, David. That would kind of be a callback. I guess it depends on how you see it happening. That would be interesting. Yamate, Drizzt. No. All right, that sounds good, Red Force. You just start Kingdom. Kingdom is good. It's just not everything people make it out to be. Kingdom fans won't want to hear that. Yeah, I don't know, man. I've detailed like twice before, just like a handful of like on the top of my head flaws from Kingdom. It's really good. All series have their flaws, but Kingdom's no exception. Really good though. Would recommend to people to read it. No one beats Oda's backgrounds. Ooh, I don't know. Kingdom has pretty good backgrounds. I'm not gonna lie. Kingdom's got pretty good backgrounds. Kingdom's got a handful of good characters. This is a highly doubt the Shogun's a figurehead, considering everything we know. His power as a combatant must be a reason for Kaido willingly allying with him and for Wano folk fearing him. What don't you like about Kingdom? Oh, that's a whole nother discussion, man. Oh, I mean, there are a lot of things about Kingdom. Like, the things I dislike about Kingdom is what forced me to take a hiatus from it. Which is why I'm on chapter 447, and I just need a break from Kingdom. It was the same old, same old. I just like dropped a little bit of water on me, on my titty. I think he was talking about backstories, Red Force, for the most part. That's what I assumed. I don't think he actually means backgrounds, because if you're talking backgrounds, Miura. Miura is a god. Art style is a little off. They all say that in the beginning, because like you got to give it a chance. To be honest, every manga starts off with sketchy art. I have yet to find a manga that starts off from quality tier 1 art. It usually starts off with like, oh man, this is kind of hard to get through, and the artist gets better with time, and then it's really good. Same with Kingdom. What if the lurking legend is actually the one we saw with Crocus? We know he is definitely lurking. I saw that idea a couple weeks ago, Vikas. I think it's cool, but I mean I don't really know where to take it. There's not a whole lot of evidence, but it's just like a cool speculation. It'd be like, well, maybe what if? You never know. My Hero started with good art? I don't remember. I think you're right, though. I'm not necessarily keen to My Hero art. It's not bad, though. The horses piss me off, but that's me in my background talking. Drizzt, have you watched any Legend of Mac videos? Do you like them? I used to watch a lot of Mac videos until I became more of an independent content creator, and I started to get more subs. Because before that, I watched every video from every person ever, so I could be up to date on every idea ever. And then, like, I feel like I've grown a lot as a content creator, like, mentally. I literally can't watch Mac's videos anymore. It hurts to watch them. And I kind of lost some respect for Mac whenever I found out some this complete stupid shit he was doing with his videos, which I've shown on stream before. Mac's a cool guy, but his types of videos are not for me. I personally hope it's a swordsmith like from the Katetsu school, and we'll meet Zoro. That would be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool, Vikas. I like that idea. Like Zoro dojo busting could be a way he recruits samurai for the war against the Shogun. Yeah, that's a good idea, but at the same time, what's gonna make Zoro start to dojo bust? Because he's supposed to lie low. That would be bad, in my opinion. It's like, what reason does he have to do that? I can't think of a plot reason for him to do that, as of right now. For me, Kingdom was hyped to a level that was never attainable, and it kind of muddied the experience. For me, not really, because like I usually kind of view series in my own way. I typically never let anyone's expectations set a series for me. I'm there for the ride at the first part, so I didn't have that experience with Kingdom. What do I think when I hear this character's relatable, and what does that mean? Well, for me, this is my personal definition of this character's relatable. When I hear someone say this character's relatable, I expect for that person to be extremely similar to the values that the person talking has, and even similar experiences in life. That's the only way a character can be relatable, is if they have a kind of similar backstory to you. Which is why whenever I defined on the stream, like on the Best Girl stream, why I found Nami relatable, I gave extreme detail as to why, and it was extremely relevant to my story, so it created a closer bond to that character. That's what I think. If you want a character to be relatable and just say, yeah, man, like, insert generic statement here, then no, I think you're probably just winking at that point. Then Mac, right. Just one of my thoughts on Hunter x Hunter. I think Hunter x Hunter is a good series, but I am not the biggest fan of it. I got bored reading Hunter x Hunter a lot. Whenever I got to the Chimera Ant arc, and I've told this story a lot of times, so it probably sounds old, but when I got to the Chimera Ant arc and I got like halfway through, it was so boring that I just stopped reading Hunter x Hunter for 3 years. No joke. It was so boring. And I had to push myself to get through it because like maybe there's something good after this. So I was like, oh, come on. And I eventually got through it and it got better, but I don't know. One of the problems I have with shonens is that for me, tournaments is the laziest excuse of writing for an arc that I have ever seen in my life. If you don't have good ideas, make a tournament arc. And tournament arcs, I hate. I can't read them. Like, I stopped reading Hunter x Hunter whenever the fight between Crollo and Hisoka was about to happen. I'm like, I don't give a shit. And I stopped reading. I have not read since. In 910, a Lang low ended for Zoro, didn't it? Well, it depends on what happens afterwards, right? I mean, people have to then report it first. Is it possible that the lurking legend is the vice captain of the Rock's vice captain, making him somewhere between 70 and 80? Be cool to choose someone like the old blind man from Treasure Island. Why does it have to be vice captain? What's making you choose vice captain over captain, Burger? Joshua says, do you think the whole country of Wano doesn't know about Ace's death, or is it just Otama? It's a majority of the populace, but the 0.1% knows the truth. Because that's how information smuggling works. If you are someone trying to disconnect your populace, like think about North Korea. It's a really good example. Think about North Korea. The higher ups at North Korea know everything that's happening in the world, but they are isolating the rest of their country, so they know fucking nothing. They maybe occasionally they hear glimpses, like some tales of something, but they don't actually know. Think of Wano like North Korea and how that system works as far as information goes. So that would be my answer to that, Joshua. I always hear stuff like that, but I don't relate to Sanji, but he was still the most enjoyable character. I guess I'm just weird. I can probably assume why you like Sanji the most, because most people that like Sanji have the exact same reason for liking Sanji. Have I read a manga called Monster? I am 23 chapters through right now. It's good. What about the Dark Tournament? I liked that growing up as a kid, but no, it was the only fight that wasn't in the tournament. Well, I mean, I was just getting that feeling because like I was getting to the feeling. I was like, fuck this. You're gonna be a lazy stack of shit. Give me this. Fuck off. I just stopped reading. If you love tournament arcs, then you love tournament arcs. I mean, it takes a certain person to like them. I mean, you guys know that I'm kind of weird in my selection and taste, so it kind of makes sense as to why that doesn't apply to me. What do I think of the Colosseum, Drizzt? Oh, for Dressrosa? Debatably the worst part of Dressrosa. It was awful. Like, you could have removed that entire plot point and Dressrosa would have been better. In my opinion. Like, there are a lot, like, you could have made the Tontatas actual characters, but, I mean, instead of gags, but there's that too. That would have made Dressrosa a lot better. But the Colosseum was, I thought it was bad. I didn't enjoy any of it, for the most part. The only part I really liked was Sabo. But you could have easily had that outside of the Colosseum. You didn't need the Colosseum to have that happen. I didn't really like any of it. Dark Tournament and the Tuning Exams, the only arcs that I enjoyed. I enjoyed those arcs when I was a little kid growing up. I have not gone back to watch them, so I'm not gonna like if I, with my current viewpoint on how I enjoy series, I would probably see it different than I did before. I do remember enjoying the Tuning Exams though, mainly because I just liked Rock Lee. So you can imagine my salt whenever Rock Lee basically got exited out of the series for the rest of the series after Gara and was never ever a character ever again. I was so pissed. Wasn't said that the Captain Rock's Pirates died? No, it just said he's just missing, basically. Why do I hate tournaments? Because they're absolutely horrible plots. They never make for a good plot. The reason you write a tournament arc is basically just because, like, man, you just want some action. Here it is. You don't care about an actual coherent story. Fuck that. It's like the easiest way to write a story without putting in any effort. That's the way I see it. People who suck at writing usually do tournament arcs. What reasons did you think I like Sanji? Curious? typically the reason that people like Sanji is the same reason people like ecchi characters in like ecchi animes. It's like it's this sounds so feminist, but I don't mean it in this way. It's like it's the male fantasy. It's like, oh yeah, man, I wish I could be suave. Like people think that's actually cool what Sanji does, but a lot of women don't like it. When like you're like overly suave about things and you're a pervert because like, hey man, I'm a pervert too. It's like, haha, I wish I could just perv on girls all the time and not get in trouble for it. So that's a lot of the reason people like Sanji. No joke. A lot of reasons people like Sanji. And then you have other characteristics which are acceptable. Like he has good characteristics as well, but that's mainly the reason. Like it's kind of just like inserting yourself into the character. I say that a lot, right? Whenever you have a main protagonist, you become that person. So you're inserting yourself into that person, and according to your taste, it changes depending on who you are as a person. I would assume it would get broken, Joshua. That's true, Red Force. We need Luffy to do something while the rest of the crew get into trouble like every arc. Man, I love that. Let's see here. Okay, big question. Is there a way to make a good tournament arc that you would like? I mean, yeah, there are. I mean, it's all dependent on the plot. You have to have a really good plot that justifies having a tournament arc. Usually there isn't. It's kind of just like mediocre. Like, you know, you X prize, I won it. Go to tournament arc. Says whoever's like the leader of like whatever society the person's in. Like, oh, you need this to do this. Go tournament arc. I don't know. It would be kind of hard to do. It depends on your personal taste, but like it would have to be something incredibly plot relevant. Like it for me, like create like emotional tension with the arc as well. That'll make it better. Like the Trinity exam was, I mean, it was like get X so you can go to X, but it was solid. They lost a captain, which means he didn't die. DBZ tournaments? I don't remember much of DBZ. I'm not going to give an opinion on DBZ because, I mean, I grew up watching DBZ until I was like 9, but I don't really remember much, to be honest. Yeah, it gave you the Grand Fleet, Stevo, but is that really, like, that's the best way? Like, as far as the Grand Fleet goes, they're the most unentertaining people that have probably ever been introduced in One Piece that are supposed to be important. Koza's dad, who I don't even know the name of, is a way better and more memorable character than any of the Grand Fleet members. I care more about him than I do the Grand Fleet members. I feel like they were poorly handled. Extremely poorly handled. Like, I don't even care about them as characters. Like, they're whatever, they die, cool. What about you? I enjoy Yu Yu Hakusho. I mean, I haven't watched it in a while, but I mean, I don't think. I mean, people kind of give it head. I mean, I don't really know why. It was a solid series, but it kind of turned to shit after Toguro. I mean, it was like almost unwatchable after Toguro. 7Ds Hidemiku. 7Ds. What's 7Ds? I think Zoro will learn that Foxfire style from Kinemon 1 arc. There's a potential for it to happen, David. I've seen a lot of people say that. Why not? Have you seen the One Punch Man tournament arc in the manga? I think it was well done. It was alright. It wasn't bad, but I mean, it wasn't anything amazing. It's just the art's supposed to supplement over. Because, I mean, it's like, you have to take it differently because it's like, it's satirical in nature, so it's not actually like super serious. So I kind of look at One Punch Man through a different lens. What do I think of the tournament arc and Tower of God? Do you mean was it the workshop battle? That's probably in my top 5 arcs of all time. That is the best way you could possibly do a tournament arc, bar none. Like, that arc, that made the fucking series. That's how good it was. The emotional tension was there. The plot dynamics were there. It was fucking, like, it was amazing. And it was focused on the fucking characters. A tournament arc focused on the characters. Wow. Who would have thought? That was an amazing arc. Workshop battle. Harry Potter had a tournament arc? What, is that like the Goblet of Fire thing? Hot takes, get your hot takes here. That's right. Drizzt the demon. I'm savage, boys. Just I love your honesty, bro. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It's like the Grand Fleet to me are just boring characters. I don't know. Part of it, admittedly, part of it is the fact that Dressrosa was ruined in the anime. Going back and reading it in the manga, it's not as bad, but it's not like it changes from being shit in the anime, which it was shit in the anime, to being amazing in the manga. It's enjoyable. The arc overall is enjoyable, but there are definitely rough rough patches. The Colosseum, I don't really think was that fun. It was kind of repetitive in nature. I mean, a lot of the hype for characters kind of died with the way they were portrayed. Never look at Haruden the same again if he gets fodderized by one jet pistol. Won't look at Hack again ever the same again when he one-shots himself by hitting Bart's barrier and he's supposed to be in the Revolutionary Army. Amazing. Did I ever try watching Hunter x Hunter? I watched the first episode of, like, is there a Hunter x Hunter like 2014 or something, or 2004? I watched one of those. I watched the first episode and I dropped it. Seven Deadly Sins. Oh, I have not seen Seven Deadly Sins, so I don't have an opinion on that. I can't judge it. Favorite Studio Ghibli film? I have never seen one. Yikes. I know. Now you know talking to Tormark. Oh, wow. What a spoiler. I'll have to watch Tog slash Retower. Yeah, Retower. It's a Korean manga. All right, myself and have used Tormarks. Yeah, it's as far as I'm not an expert on manga. I have not seen all of them. You know, I'm not an expert on tournament arcs either. But out of the short experience that I have, Power of God has the best tournament arc that I've read so far. Completely subjective. So Yo, what's up, Achi? 2012. I watched that one then. Haruden got redeemed. Haruden got redeemed by not even being able to fight smartly. Like, oh, he went extreme diff with Mac Vice. Mac Vice. Yeah, oh, he got redeemed, all right. Cool. Go Haruden. Fucking, I care about you, dude. You know, it would have been a lot better if we learned more about Haruden as a character. Like during the arc, he talked about wanting to be the king of the giants and needing the fruit. You know, Haruden might have been a more endearing character if there were some hints and sprinkles of his motivations and like his hatred towards, I don't know, Big Mom, but he's not actually direct about it. Maybe give him some character. If you give him some character, then now, Haruden's looking pretty good after that. Even if he takes the L from winning against Mac Vice, you can take an L from winning against Mac Vice. You're gonna start with the Ghibli, start with lesser known ones first, then go to the famous ones. Yeah, that's how I would start if I did it. Hey Drizzt, do you think Oda will ever use Oda will use Luffy remembering Ace to nerve Luffy and get him captured? No, I don't think so. Not for that intent. I think he will use Ace to like get Luffy pissed off, but insert Drizzt headcanon here. So I mean, this is something that I would personally like to see. So I want Ace for two reasons really. I want Ace to be brought up to get under Luffy's skin, but for Luffy to learn and for people to be there to support him to make him not do that. Because something I think should happen, and eventually will happen because Akainu is this kind of guy. At some point in time, or Blackbeard, at some point in time, Blackbeard or Akainu are going to make fun of Luffy for basically not being able to save Ace. This is going to get under Luffy's skin a lot, but Luffy's crew will be there, and they're going to be the people who are more mad than Luffy because they consider themselves responsible for not being there to help their captain whenever he needed them the most, both physically and emotionally. So I want that to be a crew-defining moment for Luffy. And then second, I want Ace to be used, the loss of Ace to be used to make the loss of Shanks that much harder. But once again, just like it's a cyclical nature, it's like cyclical, but it happens in a different way. Luffy loses Ace in the pre-time skip. His crew aren't there for him. Loses Shanks second in the second part. His crew is there for him this time, and they didn't fail him. Boom. Amazing moments. Top 5. What's Prince Loki doing if he's not King of Elbaf? Well, if he's anything like the actual Loki, then he's just probably fucking around. Haruden and Luffy kill Big Mom. That's factual. Haruden is literally getting stomped by... Who is the weakest person who could beat Haruden in the Big Mom crew? Pompey? I don't know. Do I watch Angel's Egg? I do not. I've never even heard of it. Just think about the Supernova and how Oda expanded on Capone. I have those expectations for some Grand Fleet members and other characters. So and so, because, like, here's my thing, right? I came to like Capone more than I did before. Capone was my second least favorite Supernova. Now he's like, I don't know, maybe like top 6 or 5 now? Top 6? top six or seven. But the point is, he's not ninth. But Capone wasn't really that focused on at all during the Whole Cake Island. He was kind of set to the wayside and ignored for a majority of the arc. If something similar were to happen to the other supernovas, I hope it would be something more significant than what was given to Capone. It's good. It would make me like them more, but I kind of want a little bit more. Hope Loki is strong. I'm on the fence about Loki being strong or not. I'm not sure. I'm hoping it's kind of a David versus Goliath thing where he is actually strong. Will we see Jim again in an actual fight in Wano? Maybe? I expect it to, but one of my favorite gripping moments in One Piece, you can probably name them. I mean, it's kind of standard moments. How do I feel about Endeavor going plus Ultra? It was alright. I mean, I don't think it was amazing. I was like, okay. Like, alright. I mean, it's different for me because I think My Hero is alright. I don't think My Hero is that good of a manga for me personally, in my own tastes. It doesn't really hit that niche that I need filled. So it's solid. I find entertainment in it. But it's like, you know, I don't get hyped like you guys for a lot of things, even One Piece related. I don't get hyped, especially for My Hero, with all the flaws that I believe exist within My Hero for me personally. Yo, what's up, lads? How you doing? Is Kaido's crew still only Zoan, Apu, and Hawkins? Got me confused. Or are Supernova a special case? I would consider Supernova a special case. Because, I mean, what if they betray him? Then, like, does that count? Or no? And Hawkins, a lot of people speculate for him to have a mythical or something or other zone. That's possible. I mean, but I would consider more like people that I know are under Kaido to be Zoan users. That's what I was looking for. So am I crazy to think people like Oven, Daifuku, and Perospero could solo post-time skip star hats? Our friends think I am. It's well, which ones? I mean, like, they would obviously beat them. I think, for the most part. I mean, like, who wouldn't beat who? Perospero, Daifuku, and Oven are beating pre-time skip Luffy. Fucking, like, Hody's beating pre-time skip Luffy, dude. Drizzt, when do you think you're going to get a redemption arc? I am a side character, so I don't get redemption arcs. Why is angst so important to you in stories? It's not necessarily angst. The primary thing is emotion. Emotion is the most important thing to me in a compelling story. Might be in love with Nami's strong world designs. 3 times ago, Nami is ooh. They're definitely soloing the whole crew. Yeah. I agree, Steve-O. I agree. Not even close, I don't think. It's not really that close. Or at least that's how I see it. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. Hey, Drizzt, how about a Davey back fight between BDA and JB Discord? What? The BDA's got like, what, 3,000 people? I'm pretty sure, like, that's curtains right there. That's a lot of dudes. The BDA Discord is actually just insane. Why do I have 60 notifications on Twitter? What the hell are you guys doing over here? Like a billion posts by this one person. Holy crap. See you, Silvers. Does that mean Hody could beat most of the people Luffy beat? Well, not most of the people. I mean, it depends on the situation. I mean, Hody doesn't have hockey, so, I mean, he would be a decent matchup against Crocodile, actually. He could probably beat Crocodile. I mean, he could beat all of the what is it, Romance Dawn villains. He would lose against Enel. What do you beat Moria? I mean, like, maybe? Moria's a weird one. That entire arc is kind of weird in correlation to power scaling, so. It hurts me to say that, though, because Hody's fucking trash, but the difference between pre-time skip and post-time skip needs to be accounted for when you're talking about power levels, because Oda completely changed up the game. Fog chapter came out. Yeah, I heard. Thanks for telling me. I should go and debate the whole Kingdom chat in BDA. No, there's no point in going to BDA because those guys are all retarded. Like, they can't actually have a conversation with you because it'll just resort to them using, like, emotes and shit and just being like, oh, this N-word, oh, bull, or whatever. Yeah, that is a good scene, Santos. I agree. I like that one a lot. What feat is going to show the One Piece world that the Straw Hats are an Emperor level crew? Whenever Luffy solos Yonko. Could Moria beat Enel? I don't think so. I have not read the Tog chapter yet, sir. Well, I'm in BDA. Relax with that. Devil, like, what are you trying to... in Brago's stream, you do that. What are you talking about? You go, no, that and we're tripping. You try to sneak it in there. I see you. Pretend like you ain't white. What do I think of the contrivances of One Piece? It never bothers me, but I know it gets under people's skins. It gets under my skin a lot because, like, so for me, it's just like, from a writing perspective, it's irritating. Because continuity is something that should come first and foremost in a series when you have a hard magic system. If Oda had a soft magic system, then I wouldn't really care. But since he goes under the presupposition that he has a hard magic system, continuity is ridiculously important. Do you think Jinbei will steal the title of second strongest from Zoro? I think no, it's not going to happen. Highly doubtful. Jinbei's already capped out in my eyes. He's like that. I've used this comparison before. He's like that over-leveled person you get at the beginning of every Fire Emblem game that you get tricked into leveling up because they suck late game. So he's already at his max potential, while everyone else has room to improve. So. BA Discord hella cancer, but some people are nice in there. I don't know, dude. Sometimes, most of the time, like once a month or once every 2 months, I'll get tagged by some random dude in there, and it'll be like, Drizzt gay. Like he'll just like tag me like, Drizzt is fucking gay with this opinion. I don't respond because like I'm not going in there. The only time I've ever gone there is to talk to Theory, basically. You give actual points. I don't know. Devil, like I feel like you troll so much that it's like you decide between trolling and giving actual points. You meant like coincidences and chance. Well, the entirety of the story of One Piece is basically like the entire premise is coincidence and chance. Like fate is the primary theme in One Piece. That's like the entire purpose of becoming Pirate King is fate. You basically, it all aligns. You have to do this. You have to do that. Will of D. You know, that's fine. Continuity in what regard? So I kind of elaborate this a little bit in regards to the previous chapter whenever I did my review, but it's basically like this, right? Don't write people out for the sake of writing people out when they have showcased to do things in different situations that they would do, but they're not because you want to forward the plot. So an example, this isn't the best example I can give you. I can give you, I could go back and find much more applicable examples, but for instance, right? So Oda didn't really know how, like, he hasn't figured out how to do an arc for the entirety without like going through his normal formula. So he had to make up a point to separate Luffy from the crew so he could get the plot going. And by doing that, he challenged character continuity by having people not do things they would normally do. Theory is so stupid and smart at the same time. Yeah, actually, I agree. Theory's really smart, and then he just like, he's like me, where he gets really triggered really easy. Like it's so easy to trigger me, but when he gets triggered, he turns into like angry British man. I don't even know if that's a thing, but I'm gonna say it's a thing. Like they have conversations about people that don't show up in there for months. No, listen, like this is like the same thing with like the Berserk themes, like where it's causality. Causality is really important. It's like this is all kind of a manifest destiny. It was eventually going to happen, regardless. Like that's the entire point of the inherited will. Somewhere along the line, someone would have done it anyway. Like that's the entire point. You have to get lucky enough to get all of the right things rolled in your favor, and then you win jackpot. That's basically the story of becoming the Pirate King with the exact right conditions to make the world one again. It's fate. That's the entire premise. And I find it really hard to argue against it. You agree with me about continuity? But yeah, I think continuity is a serious thing. Like I care about it because it's just like it comes off whenever you don't have continuity. It comes off as lazy writing, and I don't like that because like I love Oda, but he has flaws, and this is why I've been bitching about his editors for the past fucking 2 years. They don't do their job. They're fucking trash. They're marketing executives. They're not actually editors. Editors don't do what they do. They fucking suck. Hire me. and a translator so I can give you my opinion. I'll be your editor. Lol. Like, I would do a good job. I would just get, like, angry, butthurt fanboy. You learned today that you're apparently passive aggressive according to the BDA. I mean, I agree with Stebo. Everyone's passive aggressive, but like, I don't know, Laz. Like, to me, you just come off as wanting to be liked. So like, unless you're memeing, you're usually just saying things to like please the crowd. I feel like that's the impression I get. Whether it's intentional or unintentional, that's kind of it. Passive aggressive, Roger is passive aggressive. You're not Roger. Roger is really passive aggressive. Chris, do you think Oda has ruined any characters is that pre or post? I'm assuming post time skip. So which one do you think he ruined? Sanji, without a doubt. I mean, like, listen, I meme Sanji all the time, but that's a horrible way to have your character. Ruin Chopper. Ruin Brook. Zoro is stagnated. A lot of the characters have. Listen, it's not a shot against Roger. Listen, Roger will literally, if you sit down and talk to him, he'll agree with you. Roger's like really like, if you go into the after streams with Roger, he's chill, but he'll admit stuff. He's like that. Like, especially, guys, go watch any stream with Roger. There's a reason why there is stream Roger. It's like playoff Rondo. It's like stream Roger is kind of the real Roger where he's savage and passive aggressive when he wants to be. And then in his videos, he's totally different. Because it's his job. He'll admit to that. There's no shame in it. It's just a matter of fact. Never thought of it that way. Yeah, well, good example as if you want proof. For most streams, like let's say you're a guest in a big stream, Laz, that's kind of your role in a way. In my way. You try to please the crowd. That's what it comes off to me. Because you'll always try to say something nice about everything, while you occasionally throw in your Sanji meme. I guess that's your like how you vent. I guess I don't really know what it is, but you try to meme it. I like it. Keep doing it. But that's basically what you do for the most part. And that's why you're at least in the way that I analyze it, Laz. And I could be looking into it. Like, I do this shit with Ty, too. Why I try to, like, find out why, like, it just comes to me. You don't want to overstep your bounds in a way that makes you unlikable, which is why you're passive. Like, this is why when me and Brago memed you about you sounding up, because usually you're very quiet, and even whenever people start to talk over you, you have a greater tendency to let them talk over you instead of getting your point out because you're not aggressive about it. Because you're trying to appease both crowds, so that hurts you the most. No, Ty isn't. Yeah, if that's passive aggressive, Ty's probably like. I mean, Ty's like ridiculously aggressive. The most aggressive person I've met online and talked to, that I've talked to for an extended period of time. You dressed up as Dofi Land. That's nice, dude. You send that to Brago. Send it to Brago. Send a pic. Roger someone else when he's on. Like, yeah, Roger Sims. I mean, like, listen, like, you have to understand, like, it's not a bad thing. It's not like Roger's fake. Listen, this is Roger's life. It's actually his life. It's the way he earns capital. There are certain rules he has to follow to sustain success. Streams are kind of where you can let off that stress or basically just, like, you know, vent if he has to. A totally normal thing to do. You do that in real life whenever you come home from your job as well. Totally reasonable. And Roger's a really nice guy, and I can vent for that. It's not like I'm like, yeah, Roger's all fake and shit. No, Roger's awesome. I used to not have a solid opinion. Like, I wasn't sure how I felt about Roger before I started talking to him. But after being in enough streams with him, Roger's like a really nice and helpful guy, down to earth. But like, yeah, he's just like me. Like, for me, I'm an asshole, and I own up to that. I'm a fucking asshole. Ask anybody. They'll say, yeah, Evan's an asshole, but no, he's an alright guy. I just figure shouting at 2 in the morning might not be the greatest thing to do, but I get you. Well, it just, yeah, I mean, like, as I said, Laz, it might not be the case, and I could be wrong, but that's just the impression that I get. So, and I can kind of understand it from your position. It's probably a mix of your personality and where you are in status, because like this is like my Jordan Peterson coming out, because we're basically playing a game of hierarchies. And you're actually trying to get up the hierarchy, whereas for me, I don't give a fuck. So, like, it's just kind of like I have nothing to lose. So that's why I'm so honest and just, like, dick about everything. So. How do I send it? I'll take a picture on Twitter and just send it to Brago, man. Tag me and Brago, and then I'll use it for memes. Time to become more aggressive. I mean, if you want to. I mean, it's like, just ask yourself this, Laz. Are you satisfied? Do you think you have room to improve? Because that's it. It's like, for me, I have lots of things I can improve on, and I know I have lots of things I can improve on. Like, I could define you all of my character flaws right off the bat, because I know what they are, but it's really hard for me to correct them in the heat of the moment, because I'm an emotional guy. But I know what they are. It's just like, I don't know. It's up to you, Laz. That's your thing. It's not like it's hurting you right now. If anything, it's helping you still. But it just depends on how much of your voice you want heard. Hey, Drizzt, read me next. Stebo, I don't know if I've been around you long enough to actually read you, but the impression I get from you, Stebo, actually, I don't really know. Like, I feel like I need to be in more conversations with you, Stebo, but like, I don't really have anything negative to say about you, because it's like, reading you is different because you are basically in it just for fun for the most part. Like, you don't gain anything. Like, there's no sub gain you can get. It's basically just you hanging around with the BDA crew, and sometimes people of higher stature are there. You troll a lot, but not as much as Master J. I feel like you're more genuine. Like, you're a lot more down to earth. That's the impression I get. You kind of react to the atmosphere around you, and try to provide like a different I don't know, like a different, like if people are taking it too seriously, maybe you try to lighten things up. It's kind of how it goes. You try to adapt yourself. Maybe I would have to be in more discourse with you, I think. Does pineapple go on pizza? Never had it. I mean, probably. Drizzt, you have been JB's son on a Reverie first. Yeah, and you see the difference between me then and now? You don't have a Twitter? If you have an Instagram, Brago has an Instagram too. Elias says, I'm just calm guy, not really about screaming matches, that, and I gotta figure out why my mic's hockey's weak. You have a fine mic, Laz. Like, you're very, we can hear you a lot. Like, you have a loud voice. Like, it's not a bad thing. Like, you are loud and clear most of the time. It's just like your passive personality makes it so, like, it's usually easier to interrupt you. And this is coming from someone who's interrupted you before, like, just because I wanted to say something. So, like, it's from personal experience as well. Because, like, here's the thing, right? So, and this is more prevalent to large streams, because you in small streams, lads, is different. Because in smaller streams, everyone gets to talk basically as much as they want. That's the benefit of doing, like, 4-person streams. But if you're in a full Hangouts call, the only way you can survive in a full Hangouts call is to be aggressive, because you have 10 people trying to vie for spot and attention and trying to get their points out. So it's survival of the fittest. You have to elbow your way through the crowd of idiots so you can get your point out. Red Force says, it's like me and boop. It's like me and my brother on the show. I play the host and he's the color of the show. We play off each other. Yeah, that's how it is. Now I'm with Brago upgrade. What, in terms of being me? I mean, I'm closest with JB, but me and Brago are tight. In terms of One Piece buddies goes, those are my best mates. What's the Instagram? I'll message him. I don't know what Brago's Instagram is. Is it Brago D? It might be Brago DAs. Yeah, it's all good. I always like hearing you talk, so I'll let you speak. Well, I mean, like, I don't have any aggression against you, Last. So I usually, I mean, if I can help it, I'll usually try to get you to speak. If I become self-aware that I'm interrupting you too much, because yeah, we're tight. I feel like me and you are tight, Laz. I mean, I feel like we've shown nothing but friendship to each other for the most part. I mean, there's generally no reason to have like a vendetta against you. So yeah. Drizzt is given advice tonight. I mean, I listen. I may not be good at putting advice into action, but I'm good at giving it. I know, just show. I'm not. I'm chill, man. I'm cool. Fuck off, bitch. Bragos, bro. I'm not. I'm not Bragos, bro. Me and Braga are tight, but Braga's tighter are other people than me. Although whenever Brago needs an honest opinion, he usually comes to me. Of course, Laz. Of course. Let's see. What is all this? Oh, it's a Sanji conversation. That's why there were 60 notifications. God damn it. One of these. Oh, Steve-O's talking in here. You should give him your honest opinion on Drake. I've barely listened to Drake, so even if this was a serious conversation, I'd be like, I don't know, man. Did you look shook at my text like fighting off some vibes? That's why I said chill. I didn't feel that way. Maybe it looked that way, but maybe. I don't know. I don't. I thought Ty was tight. Ty is tight, as tight as you can get. Like, you wouldn't be able to fit a needle through Ty's ass. That's how tight he is. Brago's tight with Froob. Yeah, Brago is tight with Froob. Yep, that's true. I mean, Froob's fucking avatar is like right hand of the Pirate King Brago. I mean, they got some tight. All right, I need some advice, Rich. Should I drink some iced tea with peach flavoring or lemon flavoring? I would say peach flavoring because lemon flavoring is like really generic, in my opinion. Brago is one of the nicest dudes there is, but he controls the situation when he needs to. He's a good host. Yeah, Brago's like amazing. Like I've said this before in the first reverie when we all had chances to shout each other out, shout our channels out. I chose to give Brago a second shout out because I genuinely felt he deserves it. In my eyes, Brago has the influence of a Yonko YouTuber, but not the title. Like, it's ridiculous, like how much influence Brago has. He deserves respect. Are we tight, Drizzle? I don't remember ever yelling at you, Lan, so. Peach it is then. There we go. Only criticism I have against Brago is sometimes letting Ty go on with his ramblings for a good 5 to 10 minutes. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's like, it's kind of hard to do because I understand why he does it. Because there's a part of it, because people will genuinely think it's entertaining. But there are also crowds of people who don't, because, what was it? It was 2 years ago, 2016, I believe, was the era where Ty got kicked out of Brago's discussions for like, what, 2-3 months? Because every comment was kick Ty out. No, he's annoying us. So Brago's like, okay, fuck that. And he did it. But Ty is growing like a meme cult where people will meme Ty and he doesn't know he's getting memed. Just yell at me. I mean, I can yell at everyone. Yo, not for nothing, but yep. If you want to see me yelling, oh my god, Laz, you've been in the after streams where I just completely go ham on Ty, right? If you want to see me in my prime of yelling, the after streams of me yelling at Ty is probably premier tier 1 content. Brago says Ty's a feed. People get enraged. It's hilarious for some how far he is away from logic, but I am definitely against Ty. Only in small doses, if necessary. Devil X says, only criticism I have against Brago is when he's being fake with his whole kick live reaction. He would clearly not like it and say, take a step back and suddenly love the chapter. I feel like that's probably a fair criticism, Devil Egg. It's not untrue. It's not untrue. Check out the fantasy wrestling. Wrestling, that's like a lad's thing to do. I'm not really a big wrestling fan. Yeah, just in his prime as Garp level 40 years ago. Like, seriously, not kidding. What was it? Were you there last week? Last week, was it when I yelled at Ty for an hour and a half, just screaming at him? And was it Brago and you that we were being quiet, or was it Brago and someone else? But Brago recorded the whole thing. It's in his archives. Send me a DM. Yep, I see I have 3 messages. Thanks, Red Force. I'll respond to you probably after the stream at some point. Gold Maze, he gave 9, 10, a 3 out of 10 because the things people didn't have names. About to say, but your Steve analysis was top tier. Are you trolling Steve, or was I actually spot on? An hour and a half? That's right. Were you there for that? You were not there for that, Steve-O. You would have said something, but like literally, this has happened on multiple occasions. Whenever I yell at Ty, like I can tell you the situation, but it boils down to like I'm trying to tell Ty what his problem is. Basically, like I win the argument, but Ty is willing to let go whenever I say we should let go, Ty. Like we should stop talking. This is obviously going nowhere. And then he just like he puts a little bait and tries to get you back in. Because like whenever I talk to Ty, at a certain point, I have said the same argument over and over again that I have to point out to him his psychological issues that led him to this point in time. So whenever I start to tell Ty what his actual issues are as a human, that's when I start getting like real irritated with him. Don't analyze me, please. Plus, BD hates everything I like and promotes Zoroark in an obnoxious way, not like Drizzt. I can handle that because Drizzt is la retard. Is la retard? I'm a la retard. I'll take it. I'll take it. I think it was Braga recorded. I might have lived afterwards. All right, solid. Please tell Braga to release that shit. Oh, I mean, you got to ask Brago because I mean that would people be like Drizzt, holy shit, because I kind of went in. It really was. Hey, I guess I have good intuition, right? I was there watching the stream when Ty's. It's not even King Honky. Like this is a certain point. It's just like Ty's arguments are so beneath me in terms of like intellect that it's like at a certain point it's like what's the fucking point? And then I get even angrier and yell at him. Yeah, that's the one I was talking about, like about the Zoro and Sanji one. Yeah. I mean, that was pretty bad because you and Brago, you would laugh occasionally or say something, but it got so bad that you guys had to try and break the ice by talking about something else, which I took. But I mean, that was pretty bad. See you, lads. I give advice all the time. Don't worry, I'll shit on you next time for sure. I always get, but yeah. I even told Ty that he just likes to bait people. It's like it's the game he plays, but he obviously disagrees. What's Ty? Oh, Brian. Oh, Brian. Can I give me a draft? Well, we talked a little about Wano. We talked about characters. We talked about my personal tastes in in writing what I consider good and bad. I kind of shit on a few things like I normally do because I feel like you guys somehow the conversation always goes to, well, what's wrong with this? And I go, this is what's wrong with this. Let me tell you, motherfuckers, this character's trash. Always gets to that point in time. All right, real quick, I'll be right back, guys. I have to take a piss. So let me see. What can I find you guys to watch real quick while I'm taking a piss? What is...
Childhood in quanto want me to be. Feelings are faces, las under the surface. Don't know what you're repeating of me. Put under pressure or walking in your shoes. Every step is a taking another mistake to began so time somos moranger. I began is the I learn to do it is more like me and be as like quanto want me to be. Feelings are faces, las under the surface. Don't know what you're repeating of me. Put under pressure or walking in your shoes. Every step is a taking another mistake to began so now I can find you there. Began so time somos moranger. I began is the I learn to do it is more like me and be as like you.
I'm back. Did you enjoy? Good musical taste. That's right. Le tongue. Oh boy. You're welcome. It's actually hilarious though. Anything else I got here? Not particularly. Trivia stream, poggers. Yo, if you guys want me to do a music trivia stream, we can go to Twitch right now and we can do a trivia stream. Ah, Jesus Christ. I need to get a new desk, dude. That's right. That's not even my full Nami collection, mind you. That is something I put together real quick. Yeah, you did do really good, Brian. You did really good. All right. We're going to go do a trivia stream on Twitch then. I will put the link in the description below for my channel, and then I'll be live in like 2 minutes. All right? And we will do a trivia stream. Deal? Deal. I found the Nami? Hell yeah. No shame. I found the Nami. So, here is the Twitch. Come. And I'll see you guys there.